we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, my God. You know, I'm in the lane of maybe taking the Cowboys on Sunday. I might be in the lane of taking those Dallas Cowboys on Sunday, man. I absolutely might be. We'll get into it here in a minute. Appreciate everybody coming aboard. We got a powerhouse show for you stacked up here. Haley Simon Taylor, formerly of 97.5, The Fanatic, will be with us. And also at 4:30, the Hall of Famer and legendary friend of mine, Michael Irvin, will join us at 4:30. And we will talk to Playmaker, get his thoughts on Cowboys and Eagles. That will be at 4:30. Big Z will close us up at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. Do me a favor, hit that like button. And here we go. Here we go. Boy, Dak's playing some great ball, man. He really is. You know, I got to tell you, man, the drama with the Eagles is iconic right now. I mean, it's iconic. Now you have Deshaun Jackson. And I heard Xander dancing it around with John McMullen. Let's just say this. I thought the innuendo was that there was a chick involved between A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, and that's why these two dudes are not looking in the same eyes with each other now, and they're not on the same page with one another. They can't look each other in the face right now. Could that be it? I don't know. I'll tell you this, Deshaun Jackson hung that out there, though, to make it seem like it was something like that this thing's over a chick, that these two guys, you know, again, when you make a comment like that and you've got a great relationship with A.J. Brown and you make that comment, by the way, I didn't say that. He did. I just went from it and took his comments and I put a narrative around it. That's what you do when you put things out there like that. You give people like me the ability to be able to go out and go, is this thing over a chick? You can't just leave it hanging out there like a hanging Chad and sit there and think that there's nothing to it. I mean, this guy talks with A.J. Brown weekly. Oh, by the way, really, really a great text we got here this morning early. Brian Westbrook is going to come on next Wednesday. So he'll be with us either Wednesday or Tuesday, I think it was. We're going to have Brian Westbrook on with us. He texted me this morning. He goes, Sills, this is facts. He said, Sills, listen to this, man. Your show's blowing up in Philly. And when do you need me? And I said, you know, I'd love to have you early next week. So Brian Westbrook is going to be on the program. And we're going to talk with him and get his thoughts and get his feeling on whether or not he thinks that Saquon Barkley is toast. So we will talk with him. We will get Westbrook on next week. We'll get Howard Eskin on. We got a bunch of people lined up as we're closing down the rest of the regular season here. So do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Super chats go to the top. I want to throw some numbers at you here on A.J. Brown first before we get going. So in 2022, when he initially came to the Eagles, he averaged around 9 targets a game. In 2023, he was averaging roughly around 9.3 targets per game, almost 10 targets a game. 2024, some missed time, some missed ball games. That number went down to 7 targets a game. In 2025, he's at 7 targets a game. And maybe as the season goes on, it may get under that number, and he may only get 6 targets a game. Why is that significant? Well, with the addition of Saquon Barkley and the philosophy of the way that they're throwing the football and the amount of limited throws that Jalen Hurts has had, he's 23rd right now in passes attempted. To sit there and say that A.J. Brown has fucking lost his step is stupid. He doesn't get the opportunities in the game he once did. I absolutely disagree with anybody that says that A.J. Brown has lost his step. Has he lost interest? I agree with Deshaun Jackson that there's some disgruntled attitude adjustments that need to happen with him, and that's on A.J. Brown. But I think the fact that he gets these limited targets, either they're overthrows or they don't throw to him. And when they throw to him, they're really not sequential type of targets. They're really not important targets. They're like force-fed. Not part of the game plan. Let me get AJ his targets. That's not a way you use somebody. I mean, like I told you, the greatest number that I heard this week was by Coach. Jason Brown came on and he said, listen, dude, Davante Adams is not even in the top 10 in targets. And he's leading the National Football League in touchdown catches. Those are important targets that Adams is getting in the Rams offense. He's legitimately a part of the game plan for the Rams. My point with all this is A.J. Brown's not a part of the game plan. He's just not part of the game plan. And by the way, you see this? When Mike says this, double coverage, well, then Davante should be having fucking an incredible year, and that offense should be insane. With that guy in Goddard and Barkley catching the footballs out of the backfield, that offense should be over the top. It's not. It's 28th. I said this yesterday. This is 27 games. This is not a 3-game sample size. This is 27 ball games, and you're 28th. A.J. Brown lost a step? No. Injuries to the offensive line. You're going to head into this Dallas game with 40% of your O-line not intact, okay? Trying to get the run game going against the Cowboys this weekend, who are much improved. I got to hand it to Jerry Jones, too, by the way. The Dallas Cowboys are getting better without Micah Parsons. I don't give a shit what people say. They're getting better. And now with the addition of Quinnen Williams and maybe getting Overshawn back, getting some of their help in the secondary, no question they need an edge rusher, but they're getting better. The Cowboy defense is getting better like the Eagle defense is getting better. The numbers aren't telling the truth. They are getting better on that side of the ball. The eye test should tell you that. They're getting better. So I'm done with Sirianni. That win percentage is fraudulent. Hire an offensive vision or version of Fangio, not a buffoon. He's a fucking idiot. No, everyone knows that. The decision-making, by the way, he's the biggest caboose in the history of the National Football League with that coaching record. I tell you, he's George Seifert. Seifert and him are exactly right. The organization in San Francisco during George Seifert's time, where he won 2 Super Bowls, was insane. That guy won, as I said, he won 108 games and lost 35 games in 8 years, and they fired his ass. Why? Because he didn't have the vision of the organization, and they moved on. You know who they moved on to? Steve Mariucci. That's who they hired. He was at Cal at the time. I was in San Francisco when they made that transition. My wife was producing my show. We went to a Cal-Stanford game, and we went to a Cal-Stanford get-together, and I walked off the stage. I looked at my wife, and I looked at her, and I said, he's going to become the next head coach of the 49ers. You know what she said to me? She goes, what about George Seifert? They're going to fire him tomorrow. The next day, they fired him. The guy had a 700 win percentage. Crazy. They fired his ass. He had won 2 Super Bowls, numerous NFC championship games. I mean, give me a break, man. If you're an NFL coach, you know this. Once you take that job, there's a trap door underneath your feet at any time, especially when you have an organization that's like the Eagles, where they believe the front office is the kingdom of how this kingdom was built. Not the head coach, not anybody else, not the players. The players they're all transit too. They believe the organization knows how to build a championship football team. And it's like this. Do you not find this kind of wild here? The Cowboys are going to be a great opponent, I think, on Sunday. But here, follow me here. If they believe in this philosophy each and every single week when it comes to winning football games, don't you believe that they think they know what's best and that's why the organization is the way it's set up, that means the head coaches, again, have very little say in the direction of the team. And the players are all interchangeable. They believe that. That's why Howie, get this. Here's something that all of you are doing to Howie Roseman now. You blew up the number one defensive football team in 2024. You took a blowtorch to it, right? He thinks he can fix it. It looks like he has. That just gives the front office more power to interchange players and coaches. That entitles them more to do that. Do you understand that? What Howie has done by getting Jalen Phillips, hiring Vic Fangio, it empowers Jeffrey Lurie to empower Howie Roseman more. I'm not saying that's a bad idea, because it looks like now that he's righted the ship. I tell you this yesterday, and I said it yesterday to you. You could close your eyes, open your eyes. That team, the last 8 quarters of football, they look like the 24 defensive football team in Philadelphia. They do. You close your eyes and open it, and you watch them play. They look a little like that team a year ago. Still a long way to go and a lot of football to be played. But that just empowers that front office to stick to their guns and what they're doing. Get this. Do you really think that a pass-happy head coach like Nick Sirianni, do you think deep down, if you gave him truth serum, let's take John McMullen's line, Xander, everybody, do you think if you gave him truth serum, you think he's happy with what and how this thing looks, knowing that he's never dealt with an offense like that in his entire life? This guy coached Phillip Rivers. This guy is a believer in throwing the football down the field. He's like, no risk it, no biscuit stuff. He's like Bruce Arians. That's the stuff. That's how he looks at offenses. That's where he was raised in. He wasn't raised in a, hey, let's run the ball with these zone runs, throw the ball 5 yards out and go fucking home and have the crappiest offense in football. That's not how that guy looks at this. There is no way he looks at it like that. No way can anybody in their right mind think if you gave Nick Sirianni a truth serum, there's no way he thinks that's good offense. That's not what he does. So again, okay, we're going to look at the Dallas Cowboys here in a second. And we're going to look at them and tell you who they are a little bit. But I'm going to first ask the question, and the most important question, okay? Has A.J. Brown and everything, has he done this in your opinion? You think A.J. Brown has talked himself off the 2026 Philadelphia Eagle team? Yes or no? You think he's talked himself off this football team? I don't think A.J. Brown's lost a step. I think A.J. Brown is one of the premier wide receivers in pro football. And someone would go, look at the production. Look at the shitty quarterback. It's the shitty quarterback's noodle arm. Okay? That's who it is. It's not the receiver. How can the receiver be responsible, okay, if the quarterback can't get him the ball? And I gave you the numbers. He's getting 4 less targets per game because of Barkley and because of the way that they're approaching and playing football now. Clear, plain and simple. But he's talked his way off the team. You know why? In my opinion, I've been saying this all year. There's no way he's back in that 2016. There's no way. They're not going to keep going through this. Jalen Hurts is answering a question yesterday at a press conference about the relationship and the drama going behind the scenes. I'm going to promise you this. It's not a Philly thing. This is an NFL thing. Coaches and organizations hate drama. You know why? Do you know why guys like Tim Tebow aren't in the game? You know why? Shador Sanders was drafted in the 5th round. They don't want drama. They hate that shit. Kneeling, all that stupid shit. They hate that stuff. Any coach will tell you that's noise that I don't need. Nobody likes self-inflicted noise that can distract you from a job that you have at hand, which is to go win another Super Bowl. Okay? Hey, by the way, you see this? This will always make me go like this. You see fucking numbnuts like this? Yeah, Jim Plunkett's a Super Bowl MVP too. Congratulations to you. He's a bum too. He absolutely has. He's out. I happen to think you're right. I think he's talked himself off the team. I think he's miserable here. I think if he wants to be happy in New England, send his ass to New England. You know, I think you have to give him at least the ability to be able to go to a good place. Him and Drake May, he'd have 1,500 yards again. If he was in New England, he'd have 1,500 yards because they'd make him a primary target. Okay? They would. He's talked himself off the football team. And I believe he has. And I believe he wants out. You know, get this. If you know your job's in trouble and you know people are pissed off at you, do you continually needle your boss? The only way you needle your boss is you want to get the hell out of town. Either that or you, like, again, you don't have a rhyme or reason what reality is. And I happen to think A.J. Brown's a smart dude, man. I think he's calculated. I think he fucking knows what he's doing. I think he's a sensational football player. Hey, by the way, let me ask you something. Let's take a look at this here. I want to show you this. And you help me out here. Okay? So let's take a look at Davante Adams for a second. And see what he's doing this year and see what he's done here. Davante Adams. I'm just going to use this this came to my mind just now here. So here's Davante Adams. And we're going to look at his numbers. Okay? You tell me if this is what he's going through right now. So here's Davante Adams. When he was in Green Bay, and he was with one of the best quarterbacks of all time. This guy had no less than 100 targets. 6 times out of 7 years. He goes to the Raiders, and they have no quarterback during that time. He's hurt. He has 11 games that he plays. He has 854 yards in 11 games in 2024. And right now, he's got 10 touchdowns. He's got 600 yards of receptions, 600 yards of receiving yards. He's got 86 targets, and he's got 43 receptions already. And he's on his way to a season where, let me see where he's going to go and where he's going to land this year. And he's actually the number 2 guy, 1,000 yards with 17 touchdowns, and he's the number 2 guy behind Puka Nacua. He's the number 2 guy, and he'll have more yards and more receptions than number 1 in Philly, A.J. Brown. Why is that? The quarterback's got a fucking noodle arm. The offensive coaches know that. And I'm going to give you a little more of my takeaways on the drama of the week here. I think the organization is getting tired of Jalen Hurts. I think they're getting fucking tired of that guy. And that's why that report with NFL.com came out and said that Kevin Patullo is one of the most coveted coaches to be a potential head coach in the NFL. That came from the Eagles. They wanted that out. What's the best way to do it? Their own private network. I think the coaches, in my opinion, and everybody in the building, including the players, I think the problem is Hurts. It's Jalen. I think the coaches, I think the coaches pointing it out. He's missing throws. The players are pointing it out. He's missing throws. They're subtly telling you this. That the guy is not good in the passing game, and he never will be. That's, again, read the tea leaves. D-Gun puts a report out 3 days earlier saying that the coaching staff is getting frustrated with Jalen Hurts and Jalen Hurts in the building. 3 days later, you have a report from the NFL that the offensive coordinator, Kevin Patullo, is the top candidate for NFL open jobs like in Tennessee and with the Giants. How's that possible? How is that possible? You know his name is being floated around to get an interview with the New York Giants? He's going to get an interview with the New York fucking Giants. Fuck all that. Send that bum Hurts packing. Sills, I'm giving the caboose the boot. Tanner fit in seamlessly. The only way we save our season. How you doing? How is Kevin Patullo getting a fucking interview with the New York Giants in the bye week if the Eagles get the bye? They've requested potentially if they get the bye that they're going to ask Kevin Patullo for an interview. How's that guy with the worst passing offense getting a fucking interview? The same way Kellen Moore did. You know how you sell it? Look at what I'm working with. Look at what I'm working with. What's the soonest we can get off of Hurts' contract? Enough of dual threat OBSs. I want a pocket passer quarterback that can read defenses and anticipatory throws. Bro, finding those guys, they're all over the league. Sam Darnold's, Mac Jones's. It's shitty organization. I'll tell you one thing else too, man. The Philadelphia Eagles, when it comes to developing quarterbacks, are terrible at it. They fucked Wentz up, and now they're doing the same shit to this guy. They can't develop a quarterback to save their life. Or this. They got a short lifeline. They don't last long. You don't win that Super Bowl without Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz was a success in Philly. It just didn't last long. It just didn't last long. Okay? I mean, you can't tell me. Dude, A.J. Brown is the only guy standing up for the entire football team. Okay? Get this. You see this douchebag right here? He's perfect for our show. You know why? You wanted to know what a glazed donut is? Here's fucking M. Reyes, one of those Eagle glazed donut guys that walk around on their knees, kissing the ass of the Eagles and anything that fucking comes out of that organization. That's exactly what this guy does. And you know what? No one's disputing the Derek Gunn except Mulata. You know why? He's a fucking mouthpiece too. What do you think they're going to say? There's troubles in paradise? By the way, Derek Gunn was invited back into the facility yesterday. If they had a problem with him, don't you think they would have said, get the fuck out? I know they've said it to me like that. By the way, they've called my bosses. You know how much fucking heat I'm under? Do you? Because you know why? The narrative is now people are starting to believe what we've been saying for 4 years. Now you've got Derek Gunn repeating what I've been saying for 4 years. Now you've got coaches pointing out shit that I've been pointing out for 4 years. He's limited. He's limited. Limited. And here becomes the problem. And you know what I say? Anytime that you have any constructive criticism towards Jalen Hurts, you guys throw that fucking racist thing out. Fuck you. Seriously, you go hide under your desk. Nobody's being personal. I don't give a shit about him. I don't know him from a can of paint, nor do I care to. I do not care to. You know why I don't care to? Because then I could be and have my own opinions and things. When you start having personal relationships with other people or athletes, you know what happens? Your opinions become jaded. I don't give a shit about these people. I don't. I miss Kyle's super there, Xander. Hit the like button, guys. I appreciate it. Y'all know why Hurts will never be benched? Because Sirianni and Patullo have no balls to question Daddy Laurie. Dude, I think that's getting worn out. I think that's getting worn out. Completely getting worn out. By the way, new rule, or actually, we're going to add a new rule. Some of you douchebags in here that say some of the stupidest shit on the planet, you will be paying for my attention. Not everybody in here, because I like a lot of folks in here. You'll be paying for my attention. Giants are not the smartest organization. Hey, dude, absolutely they're not. And, but they're going to interview him because they want the narrative out there that Kevin Patullo's doing a good job. Okay? Ron, you know what I mean? Seals, Hurts' athleticism. And by the way, there's nothing personal here. Seals, Hurts' athleticism and his talent has masked the problem. He's a really talented kid. He is. He's a great athlete. Jalen Hurts is a great athlete, and I think he's smart as hell. Absolutely true. Yes, sir. Smart as hell. Tough, great worker, tremendous athlete. He just sucks in the pocket. I mean, hey, what's this? Tagovailoa can throw the football. He's a great passer. Guy can't stay fucking healthy. This guy, he's like pixie sticks. He's like Bosselwood. That's a narrative on him. Here's Joe Burrow's narrative. You ready? Great talent. Best thrower of the football in the league. This guy's the Joe Namath of the modern era. Can't stay healthy. Everybody's got something. Josh Allen could be reckless with the ball. Everybody's got their own kryptonite, dude. Everyone's got it. Nobody. I think Prescott presses in big games. That's why you see those turnovers. Does Jalen have an it factor? Yes. How many people in the league have it? Maybe 3. Does he suck in the pocket? Yes. I want to point something out to you, too, about Dak and Jalen. I heard John McMullen and Xander bringing it up. They bring great topics up, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to close the topic up for both of them. So here, get this. I'm going to put this number out here to you. So Dak Prescott has thrown the football. Here it is here. Dak Prescott has thrown the football 369 times. Jalen Hurts has thrown the football 269 times. 100 times more. Dak's thrown the football. Jalen Hurts is 23rd in passing attempts. Dak is 3rd in the league in attempts with almost 370 attempts so far. Follow me. Jalen Hurts has been sacked 26 times. That's 5th in the league. Dak Prescott has been sacked 16 times. That's the 28th least sacked quarterback in the NFL. What does that tell you? Who's better in the pocket? Who's got more confidence in where he's going with the football? Dak Prescott. That shit with Hurts is by design. This guy's one of the least attempted quarterbacks. and throwing the ball, and he's one of the most sacked guys. Why is that? Because he's shitty in the pocket. Okay? Because he's shitty in the pocket. Like I said, they're getting better on defense, the Cowboys, but stop with this bullshit. Get this. Do you know what some Eagle fans have done? You shifted the argument off of fucking Noodle Arm onto Barkley and AJ losing a step. So usually for Eagle fans, the scapegoats are the offensive coordinators. Look at what you're doing. It's so disgusting. You think AJ's lost a step, you think Barkley's lost a step, and you think, get this, and you think that like AJ Brown is not good and he's lost a step and he's not good now. And you think Kevin Patullo sucks. You've shifted it off of Hurts. Unbelievable. You'll make an excuse for that fucking guy no matter what it is. And you throw anyone you can under the bus. Not here. The guy's Noodle Arm from now on to me. He's Noodle Arm. I mean, you got to be kidding me. We're now having a conversation. I heard John McMullen go, well, he's not productive. He's not productive because the quarterback has 269 attempts, and he's fucking last almost in the league in throwing the ball. What do you think AJ's going to do when he doesn't get fucking targets like every other premier receiver in the league does? His production's down because the volume's down. You got to be kidding me. AJ Brown and Barkley have lost a step. Do you not watch football? They're absolutely limited in their attempts to get him the football. You've got to be kidding me. Now you're blaming AJ and Barkley. Got to be fucking kidding me. Pathetic beyond pathetic. Just pathetic. Go Bird Sills. A lot of what you say, I agree with. Nothing wrong with constructive criticism. I'd love to see Tanner McKee get a true shot one day. They're not going to move off that guy because they're not moving on. Hey, when they move off of the philosophy, that's when that guy will get closer to playing. Until then, Hurts is the perfect guy. Hey, and for the record, I want to make sure we underscore this. I don't think they're coaching the kid right, but that's irrelevant to them. Because if they cared, they wouldn't have hired a guy who was a kindergarten coach and put him in there with Hurts. They would have hired the most qualified person on the planet to be with the kid. So they're doing him a disservice too. What's up, Sills? I know last year's passing 29th, but third down and completion was effective. It was efficient because you ran the ball, though. I think that's different from last year. It's the run game, Kevin, it's the run game. Okay? How about this? How many people are blaming AJ? How many people believe AJ Brown and Barkley have lost a step? How many people actually believe that bullshit? Seriously. So wait a minute. Let me take a look at. I'll do one more thing too. Let's take a look at rushing attempts. How many rushing attempts? Hey, Kyle, hook me up. How many rushing attempts did Saquon Barkley have a year ago? How many rushing attempts did he have, guys? Just regular season, not counting, okay? Not counting the playoffs. How many rushing attempts did he have? Okay? Let's see. Okay, got it. How many rushing attempts did Saquon Barkley have a year ago? Regular season, 345. He's on pace for 290 right now. 290. Okay? And that number's going to go down. You know why? You're going to go into a football game against the Cowboys, and you're going to have 40% of your offensive line gone. You think you're going to sit around there and you're going to run the ball? No. If that guy gets 20 carries in that game against the Cowboys, I'll be stunned. Stunned. AJ's volume of targets are down. Barkley's volume of carries are down. Where are we going? Where are we going? How long is Sirianni's leash for winning the Super Bowl? Eternity. You know why? He's the ultimate ass kisser. Jalenites are in love with him because of his fake White House stance and 47 beef. Blind. There we go. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm not going down that lane. I'm not going down that lane, dog. We're good. You know? All these 3 and outs aren't helping those numbers. That's correct. They're not. They're 28th in 3 and outs. 28. Hey, by the way, I refuse to go down the conversation of race when we're doing sports. If you meatheads want to go down that lane, you go fucking somewhere else. Race has no comments in here. When we're talking about passing offense and running offense and shitty quarterback play, has no place for it. So you can take your shit and go anywhere else. You can go hang out at my X account and sit there and think I give a shit. You would be so sadly mistaken. Because once the show's over, like I said, I click off and I have a Corona and I don't even remember what I said. Sills, as a defender, which would you prefer from our offense? 2 scoring drives and an interception or 3 and outs? Balance is what I would rather have. Balance is what I would look for. This is why I love the show, because you get a free will to say whatever you feel like it, and you get an opportunity to say whatever you want to say, no matter if it's the dumbest shit on the planet like M. Reyes. My bad, Sills. It's Steve-O. No, you're good, dog. Okay? Jeff, thank you, brother. Hey, by the way, I was going to put a pretty good comment up there. If you want to put them up there, guys, we appreciate it. By the way, thank you for the supers. Do me a favor, guys. Please hit that like button. Oh, my God. This is the best. Because you know what I'm doing? I'm fucking doubling down, and I'm coming off the triple rope now. I'm doing a Cactus Jack off the top of the arena on this bullshit. You think you're making me go under the desk? You got the wrong dude. Hey, you got the wrong guy. Because you know why? Some of you panty guys, and there's men in here that wear panties. I'm not even saying M. Reyes does. He might. I don't know. Okay. Well, let me tell you this. If you don't like what you're hearing, you shouldn't be here. Because this is an adult show. Really. If you're too young and you're too, wound tight, this isn't for you, dude. This is a PSA, a public service announcement. This is not for you. This is not. My show's never been like that. Never will be. My 35 years fucking doing this. Never will be. I mean, hey, listen. They're in here because you know what they're trying to do? Dude, you think some hammerhead in a chat box is going to take me off my game? You got the wrong guy. Y'all heard it, Sil. Hey, Yes, y'all heard it, Sills. Clicks off and don't remember what he says. You know why I don't have to remember what I say, too? Because everything I say, I have a belief in and convictions, and I don't sit down and write down fucking takes. This is all from the heart. You're damn right. Let's see this guy here. AJ said, just throw the fucking ball. Well, it began throwing his way, and he isn't making plays on it. Your fucking quarterback blows. I just showed the guy that his targets are down. He didn't hear it. He didn't hear it. He couldn't hear it. You guys are now spinning that A.J. Brown and Barkley sock. A guy with 2K. John McMullen said it's a Hall of Famer. A.J. might be a Hall of Famer too. And those guys, after 1 year, A.J. Brown was second team All-Pro last year. Barkley was the offensive player of the year. And they're lost a step. Wait a minute. Did A.J. Brown really make second team All-Pro last year? Did he? Did he make second team All-Pro, A.J. Brown, last year? Did he make second team All-Pro? Barkley was the offensive player of the year. And in a matter of 6 months, those guys have lost a step. How dumb are you? You have gone from the Super Bowl in February to use A.J. Brown and Barkley as an excuse for your shitty passing game. It's caught up with you finally. Your quarterback's limitations have caught up. This is what it is. You want the simple answer? It's caught up. Well, maybe if we do this, maybe if we do that. I'm tired of doing a pregame show, and I'm tired of doing a Monday through Friday show with maybes. This is your quarterback. A.J. Brown, I'm on Team A.J. and Barkley. There's nothing wrong with those players. It's your noodle arm quarterback. Tired of incompetent OCs? Why do you think Angelo, why do you think they hire incompetent OCs? They hire incompetent OCs because they have a limited quarterback. Perfect match. Why in hell would you ever in a million years hire a high-volume passer and a high-powered passing coordinator for that guy when you throw the ball 300 times a year? Why would you do that? Super Bowl hangover are real. That could be. First 4 weeks, we only won because of Jalen. And the last 2 weeks, we won in spite of Jalen. We need more consistency. Absolutely, man. Okay? Hey, look at this. Seals, why are you trying hard as hell to act like we don't see AJ not giving 100%? I didn't say he didn't give 100% all the time. He's not giving 100%. Exactly what Deshaun Jackson said. Because the plays are fucking stupid. The route concepts are dumb. And he's bored in this system because the quarterback either overthrows, doesn't see him, or they're irrelevant routes. That's exactly what he fucking does. Dude, stop making excuses for noodle arm. Stop making excuses. Barkley and A.J. Brown are not shot. Okay. So your excuses are that it's Barkley and A.J. Stop making excuses for Hurts. Get this guy here. He's blaming and saying that two guys who were first team and second team all pros 9 months ago are finished. So he can have his guy not take the blame for a offense for 27 games has been dog shit. Really. It's the lamest thing I've ever heard. Blaming other people for your own failures. You must be accustomed to that. Can't wait to watch Carter Phillips Day. Dude, those guys are having a blast on that side of the... Hey, I got to tell you something, too. Howie, I can't fucking believe what you did with this Zach Bond guy, dude. He's putting another all-pro season together. How did the Saints let that guy roll out of the building? The NFL has caught up with Hurts like it did with Wentz in 2020. Kyle, don't make it that simple because that's exactly what's happened here. They caught up with Wentz, and he was done. They've caught up with Hurts. He's done. He'll be done soon. Only a matter of time. You can't keep evolving. Evolving? Wait a minute. I'll take that back. You can't keep, what's the word I'm looking for? You can't keep having that offense go the other way. Every year since 22, he's regressed. The offense is regressing. And you've got all your money, all your talent. John McMullen tried to tell Xander Krause today that every single guy in that huddle has lost a step. It's the fucking quarterback. Even John didn't want to blame the guy. So everybody's bad but Jalen. Really? Everyone. Lane's bad. Mulata's bad. Barkley's bad. AJ's bad. Devontae's now going the other way. They're all bad? Coaching? What do you mean coaching? Dude, the hiring of Kevin Patullo should tell you all you need to know. They didn't have to hire a big-time OC for him because they don't have a big-time quarterback. Dude, do you know what they did in Baltimore for Lamar Jackson? They ended up getting off of a coordinator that had won Lamar Jackson the MVP award. Okay? They got off of him. Then they brought in Todd Monken to improve his passing game for him to be able to be a better ball player. They brought in a guy that looked at his skill set. Whatever you think of Lamar, at the end of the day, they're hiring the better people to try to get the kid to be the best player he can. In Philly, they don't do that. They don't. Why wouldn't you hire the best guy to help the quarterback become the best player he could become? Instead, you hire a guy who worked at a fucking ice cream soda stand. He worked at the Slurpee section of the NovaCare Center. Oh, but he put plays together. How fucking dumb are you? Hey, let me hire the dumbest guy in the room. Let me hire a guy like that for Hurts. Why? Well, because he's a Knicks guy. What a reason to hire somebody. Because that's Nick's friend. What? I don't want my friend coaching me. I want the best coach I can possibly have to coach me. You can't get any dumber. It's so obvious. Now it's Barkley and it's AJ's fault for the offense being bad. Where did you land on that? I know how you did, and I know why you did. You landed on it. You know why? Because you have nobody else to blame. Pretty soon you're going to run out of people to blame for that guy's inability. Like I told you before, the reason why you were able to move off of him at Alabama is because you had another first rounder behind him. Okay? Hurts going to light up the Cowboys 150 yards passing and one tush-push touchdown. Oh, congratulations to you, kid. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it, I guess. Seals, our coaches on offense are monkey-brained. All right, you want to go there? They have QB who has this unique ability to make plays with his legs, and at times legs and arms. Okay, legs and arms. When he's using both of them, he's a fine ball player, man. Okay, I mean, dude, they don't want to sync him up. Sills, I'm a Cowboy fan. I watch your show every day and see Jalen Phillips got shoulder injury. I see that on the injury report. I know. I told the Eagle fans he is a really good football player when healthy. And he left practice today. Keep an eye on that. Jalen Phillips is a really good player when healthy. How many times have I underscored that when you signed him and you traded for him? When healthy. Keep an eye on that. I'll tell you what, dude. You ain't 8-2 because of that quarterback. I'll give you the first 4 games of the season. I thought his wheels when he was running more. I thought he was helping you get those wins. But let me just say this to you, man. Over the whole year and over the last 27 games, he has stunk in the pocket. He has stunk. Hey, Sills, if Bob Lang was with the Rams, would you be trashing the Rams the same way you trash the Eagles? My friend, I think you're not hearing me right. I'm talking about you winning a Super Bowl here, and I don't believe you can. So let me ask you this, my friend. You're 28th in offense right now. You think that's good enough to win a Super Bowl? You know what you guys have right now is hope. You're hoping. Hope's not a strategy. Answer the fucking question. I'm not going to answer the question because my history of my career, it answers it for it. I'm not answering dumb questions like those stupid fucking questions any longer. Would I be ripping the Rams the same way if they were having the same issues? I'm not answering that. My career speaks for itself. Fucking dumb question. Answering the same question thousands of times, whether it's things I've said on the air or my approach on the air. I've been on the air 35 plus years. I don't have to answer those questions anymore. Everybody knows where I'm at. They could have me with a cup with strings on it, and they'd be trying to cancel me. You know those cups you put to your ears and all that shit? I'm on a fucking YouTube channel that has found a place in Philly, and they still do the same shit. Whether it's radio, TV, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm not answering those questions any longer. Done with them. You want to know about me? Fucking Google me. Eagles are going to run the ball more on first. That's another key too, my friend. They got to win first and second down. That's not what they've done this year. They haven't been able to win first and second down. That's why you're leading the NFL in 3 and outs. And you're one of the worst teams in 3 and outs. Okay? Let me say this, guy. Are you saying all of this just to protect the Rams? Who fucking cares about the Rams? I told you I don't have a favorite team. You're so fucking dumb, guy. Protecting? Protecting the Rams. I don't give a shit about the Rams. It would be nice to see Tank Bigsby get more touches. Tank Bigsby over Saquon Barkley. No, thank you. I ripped the Buccaneers and told them that they're going to have a nuclear fucking meltdown and that Carolina's going to catch them for the NFC South. I said it on my radio show. They're going to get crushed by the Rams. That football team might not have a 500 record by the end of the year. Protecting? And I'm on the airwaves in Tampa. So as this shit keeps going on into the offseason, you think it's possible the Eagles could get another quarterback? No. As long as they keep winning, as long as that philosophy and Nick keeps winning. Dude, this is a direct order from upstairs. This isn't Nick. Nick has been in a passing offense your entire lives. Okay? His entire life. Been around Rivers and people like that. This comes from upstairs. No quarterback, no coordinator in his right mind, would be a coordinator. By the way, I don't think you can hire a big-time coordinator for Jalen Hurts. And I don't think the Eagles would want one. Because you know what a big-time coordinator would come in and say? That guy can't do it. You got the wrong guy. Don't you get it? Why do you think they hire first time? Hey, and the only guy that you did hire, Kellen Moore, what did he do? He said, fuck that. I ain't throwing the ball. Not with that guy. I'm going to run it. Thank God Barkley had an iconic year or he'd have been fired too. I'll make you a point here. If Kellen Moore had been brought back as offensive coordinator, it'd be no difference. He'd be in the same boat as Kevin Patullo. He'd be in the same boat. Lane Johnson being out for an extended period of time is really going to hurt. I actually heard people on Birds 365 say this. Fred, down there on a drop off. That's how freaking dumb you are. Hey, by the way, like I said, Kellen Moore was the OC this year. You'd be screaming at him. He'd lose his job by the end of the year because there's no run game. Guys, hit the like button. Appreciate you guys coming aboard. Haley Simon Taylor, formerly of 97.5. We'll talk with her. Philadelphia media member. She's at the bottom of the hour. Michael Irvin will join us. That will be at 4:30. The legendary playmaker will be with us at 4:30. I don't think Barkley has lost a step by any means, but he definitely isn't hitting the hole like he should. You're right. He should be hitting it and should be hitting that hole a little bit harder there, right? Also, no Hurts design runs. I think that hurts the run game too. You're right, Dirty. Agreed. Listen, that's just not creative. When's the last time they've developed Hurts? Brian Johnson did a better job at developing him. I mean, Brian Johnson did. Okay? Brian Johnson. You know how aggravated right now over on my X account the Jalenites are? That I'm on the air right now? I love it. All of them are so angry. And that fucking douche fucking thought that I would continue having a conversation with him. Dude, box of rocks. I'm not responding. I don't even know who he is. Been on my show a couple times. He thought he would get into a back and forth with me. Guy, you're a nobody. Okay? Sirianni was a yes. No, Sirianni is a yes man. He is a yes man. No. If this comes from upstairs, I'm confused. Laurie knows high-powered offense. How he's not going to come off the rails right now until this thing starts losing. Okay? He won't. Why would you? You're riding a wave. You're not going to come off that wave. Seals, do you think last year's block? Yes, I do. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Xander, you guys remember when I told you this? I said, hey, do you think this style of play is hurting A.J. Brown and the receivers when they were running the ball so much? No. Huh. too easy. That's why. Because you know why? You got meatheads. Meatheads. Strudel. Gabagool. Some of these guys in here are like bad gabagool. Since you said yesterday that Barkley lost a step, didn't you? Went back and watched it last night. And I started thinking about the conversation that everyone is having. And I said, you know what? Let me look at the targets and the carries before I go and continue to go down that lane, Christian. Christian, I'll tell you why we went down a different lane with that today. I wanted to see if the targets and the carries were the same. They're not. They're off by a lot. Barkley's off by 7 carries a game, and AJ is off by at least 5 targets a game. So they've stopped handing it to him, and they've stopped throwing it to him. Well, when you're limited in attempts, how can you say someone lost a step when you're not getting the ball to them? Right? So you got to do more due diligence. By the way, again, you got to always remember too, Christian, it's a week-to-week league. Narratives change every week in the NFL. Every single week, a narrative will change on a player, on a coach, whomever. John McMullen said it today. Dude, this league will humble you in 10 seconds. Do you think the Eagles could still win with this philosophy? You know, I'm going to tell you where I think you could. Okay? I think you could win with this philosophy because you know why? I really don't think the rest of the NFC is all that hot. Like, the Rams are the closest team to me that looks like they're complete. But there's still flaws in their game. You know what I mean? There's still like the running back has a propensity to put the ball on the carpet. And there's turnovers in that offense at times. And he's protected it, and it's been good this year. But will that rear its head again as you get into the cold months and you have to go on the road and you got to play in Philly or you got to play somewhere and you've got to have a run game? There's still a flaw there that and I'll tell you what else. The way that Sean McVay called that game in the fourth quarter against the Eagles, I thought he got conservative. Dan Campbell was too aggressive. Sean McVay was he was too conservative. So has he learned from that? Because right now, there's no doubt, Philadelphia is the Rams' kryptonite. And until they change that narrative, okay, until they change that narrative, there's no question, okay, no question. They've got to, and they have to get over the hump with that Eagle team. Make no mistake about it. Hit the like button. Super chats go to the top. We appreciate it. Before Haley comes on with us, we're going to talk about the Cowboys and who they are right now. By the way, there is no doubt A.J. Brown and Barkley have not lost a step. It's noodle arm. Okay? Noodle arm is your problem. And the training wheel kindergarten teacher as your offensive coordinator. Kevin Patullo is no better right now than a kindergarten teacher. He went to school for it. He knows what to do. This is his first job. Who he's been in 16 years, Sills. Why did it take him that long? Kevin Patullo's been in the league 16 years and this is his first coordinating job? Jesus criminy. I mean, what was he on, a retainer? 16 years on the job. And this is your first coordinating job? I'm like, I've never heard that for somebody so young. 16 years. Brian Johnson was elevated quicker. I mean, Kellen Moore was his backup quarterback in Dallas. And when he became the backup quarterback, Mike McCarthy hired him as a quarterback coach. And within 2 years, he was the OC. How in the world did it take 16 years? Hey, so let me get this right. Xander said this to me, and I started thinking about it last night. So wait a minute. He's been in the building since Nick, right? That's 2021. So after Shane left in 22 and in the 23 offseason, they passed on him once. Okay? They passed on him with Kellen Moore, went out of the building even. Now, after 3 attempts, he gets a job with Philly. So they passed on him twice. He's been in the league 16 years. Jesus Christ. And how old is he? I mean, every time Xander said 16 years to me, I was like, how old? Hey, Kyle, do me a favor. How old is Patullo? So he's been like in the NFL as some type of assistant and quality control guy, I'm assuming. And he worked his way up since he's in his 20s. And nobody gave him a job? Shit, Chris Shula might be as old as he is. He's the DC of the Rams. So Kevin Patullo's 42 years old. He's been in the league 16 years. He was passed over twice in Philly. Right? He started with the Chiefs in 07. Okay. So he started with the Chiefs in 07. Okay? Think about this. 07. 07. He's 42, 44 years old. He's been in the league 16 years, right? Left the NFL for a year at A&M with 17, okay? Was he the OC at A&M? That sounds like it's Dumbo. Either that or it's Kevin, what's his name, that was there as the head coach in 17. So how come 16 years in the NFL, he's never been, 15 years in the NFL, 1 year in college, they passed him over twice. Now he's the offensive coordinator in Philly. Make that make sense. He's 44 years old. He spent almost half his life as an assistant coach and never a coordinator. Okay? Why? Shit, I know people that get elevated within 3 years. Hey, you want to hear something fucking psycho? You see this right here? He's 44. Somebody tell me how old Sean McVay is. Kevin Sumlin, that's the guy I think he worked for at A&M. Right, Kevin Sumlin. So wait a minute. This guy's younger, and he's been in the league longer than Sean McVay. Sean McVay's 39 years old. And he's the head football coach of the Rams and has been for 9 years. Okay. Who did you fucking hire? Jesus Christ, this guy's been on like a GI Bill. Sean McVay's 39. He's younger than Patullo. Patullo's been in the league longer than him. Is that correct? Okay. Yeah, nice hire. And you passed him over twice? Make that make sense. And you gave that guy the job to coach Jalen Hurts. Huh? Who fucking made that decision? I mean, dude, after 10 years, don't you know whether the guy's a quality guy, knowing that he could call plays? 15 years as a offensive coach in the NFL, 1 year in college, passed over twice in Philly to be the OC, went out of the building even to get a guy who was fired in Los Angeles with the Chargers, and now he's your OC with the defending Super Bowl MVP. Got it. Woo! Hey, that's quite a track record. Holy shit. That's like this. Hey, I'm working weekends. How many years you been working weekends in radio? 16 years. Well, hey, sorry, kid. That's kind of what it is then. Hey, I'm doing weekends on JAKIB. What, really? What are you doing? I'm doing an hour a week. How long you been there? 15 years. 15 years? I'd be like, hey, you might want to get into a different field, guy. You're not going anywhere. Holy cow. Instead, he lands in Philly, though, because you're the defending champions, and because the quarterback is limited, why not? Just give him the job. You're not going to do anything anyway with him. Did anybody do their due diligence when really thinking about who he was? Or was this just a buddy hire? This sounds like a buddy hire to me. I mean, who was my pick? Cliff Kingsbury. At least he's worked with dual threat guys. Shit, he's worked with Mahomes, and he's worked with the 7-3 Caleb Williams. He was the OC Williams' last 2 years in USC. No, you know what he did? Without a defense is nothing. Guy's got 2 fucking NFC titles and a Super Bowl. He's 39 years old, and he's got 5 division titles. He's done nothing. Okay. Yeah. He hired Wade Phillips. He hired Raheem Morris. And now he's got a guy who's going to get an NFL head coaching job and Chris Shula. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's why Stafford's having a career year. Probably because of that defense. They thought they're, oh, well, no. There was a honeymoon. But I'll tell you what our channel did, and I'll give Xander a lot of credit here. Xander gave the honeymoon all the way until September. The problem is in Philly, you think you're still on it. You had the honeymoon until September. After that, whole different fucking team. All right, Sills, chill, brother. The Giants won KP. Get him the hell out of here. Sills, don't tell him his resume. Well, shit. You know what he's going to say? He's going to pull M. Reyes out. You know what? M. Reyes is his agent. Kevin Petula is the OC of the 28th worst offense in football, and yet we're 8-2. That's how you sell it to a team. Look at the shit I'm dealing with. That's how Mickey Loomis probably heard it when Kellen Moore was pitching himself. The quarterback's limited. Look what we did. We ran the ball, we pivoted, and we won. See, hey, Kevin Petula needs M. Reyes. Hey, the quarterback sucks. Look what the guy did. He got us 8-2, even with the shittiest offense in football. Doesn't matter. Well, how come you spent 16 years as a coach, 15 as the coach in the NFL, passed over twice, and now you're the OC of the Eagles? How'd that work? Oh, my buddy hired me. I'll tell you this. If Nick Sirianni wasn't his buddy, he would never be hired as an offensive coordinator. It's evident. It's evident. How many years are you going to be in the league before somebody goes, hey, he's good? Why are novices on offense hired if you're an offensive-minded owner? Why does Laurie get pissed off when he fails if he signs the checks with all these bozos? It's a great question, Mikey. How does Laurie get sold on that? Howie? Or they have control of the offense's direction and how they approach it. By the way, they believe they know what they're doing. That's why these coaches are expendable. After 16 years of drawing plays with crayons, he finally gets a recognition for his hard work as a top head coaching candidate, says Nick. By the way, Haley Simon Taylor will be with us. We'll talk with her. She's going to be at the bottom of the hour here. Philadelphia media personality, we will talk with her. Michael Irvin will join us also. That'll be at 4:30. Hey, look, okay, I'm willing to do this. Okay? Okay? I'm willing to do this. Okay? Haley, that's right. My bad. Big cells. CTE is a real thing. Haley Taylor Simon, thank you very much, my friend. Absolutely. Hey, I don't know how they ended up. I don't know how they ended up doing this. Okay? I really don't. I don't know how they landed on him. Okay? I mean, don't you think this, guys? Hey, don't you think this? Help me out here. Okay? 16 years he's an assistant coach. 16 years. Okay? Passed over twice. And he's the OC of the Eagles? How? How's that possible? How's that possible? And you wonder why they're stumbling around? Let me go to his side here a little bit, okay? How much of the playbook do you really think they're allowing him to call? How much of it? 25%? 25%? By the way, I want to thank everybody on all of our platforms right now. Got over 1,000 folks in here. We appreciate everybody being in here with us right now. Thank you. Okay? Appreciate that. Guys, listen, I know people are waiting for something to be said that's not true. But everything that I've said here today is true. The coordinator, the QB's inabilities and limitations, A.J. Brown and Barkley losing a step. On what metric? You guys tell me numbers don't matter. Numbers don't matter? How about you use your eyeball test? You tell me. Use your eyeball test. How's it look? Okay? How's that look? The craziest thing so far is no one is coming out and really defending Hurts. No one's defended him. They defended AJ. You know why? Because AJ's not lying. He's not lying. He is not lying. Targets are down. Carries are down. The limits of the throws are down. He's 25th in passing attempts. Barkley's down almost 10 carries. He's going to carry the ball 275. Last year, he carried the ball 345 regular season. You get less targets. Okay? Less targets. Watch the all-22. There are plays to be made in the passing game. Quarterback's not seeing it. How is that the coach's fault? KP may not be good, but he's not. No. Listen, all of it doesn't fit. You know what? Watch the defense. Bobby King is a great coach. Your linebacker coach? I think it's the best defensive coaching staff in football. I think it's the best coaching staff in pro football on that defensive side of the ball. Christian Parker has done remarkable things in the secondary. Remarkable things. Okay? Have done remarkable things. Clint Hurt, who you got to remember, I have a relationship with Clint Hurt. I recruited him at the University of Miami. Okay? And I love the kid. Always have. We have weekly conversations. The guy's so awesome, man. Guy called me one day and asked me if he could wear my number 93 at Miami. And I said, of course you can. When he was up in Seattle, I loved him with Pete. I mean, Tracy Rocker, the previous coach, was a teammate of mine as well. That's the best defensive coaching staff in the National Football League. I'm stunned, and I will be stunned if all of those guys come back next year, because they're going to get plucked up and they're going to get taken to be coordinators. Christian Parker is sensational in that secondary. Look at what he's doing with Adoree Jackson. He's a bum. Look at what they're doing with the linebacking core. Nakobe Dean was on a respirator as a talent. Vic comes in, puts Bobby King in place. You know where Bobby King comes from? Guess where? San Diego, when he was out there with John Pagano. All right. By the way, Michael Irvin will join us at 4:30. We will talk with him. You know, I'm always looking for talented people to come on the program. We don't just put anybody on the show here. You guys know Jimmy Johnson, Ice Cube, and all the guys that come on the program. We love it. And I heard her talking sports. And by the way, enormous hockey fan. Now, I got to tell you, Rick Tocchet was at the Tampa Bay Lightning when I was there. And Todd Lewicki and Mr. Vinnick would invite us down all the time. We'd go to Tampa Bay Lightning, and I love Rick Tocchet. And Tortorella was a guy that was there in Tampa as well. And she is a huge hockey fan, obviously covers the National Hockey League. And Haley Taylor Simon joins us now here, and we appreciate you coming aboard. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Happy to be here with you today, Dan.
Absolutely here. So your love affair, is it football or is it hockey?
Oh, it's like both. Football, I'm able to be such a fan. And with hockey, I love the game. Now, of course, we have our teams that we like, but it's more towards all of hockey.
How about the Flyers? Are we ever going to see this thing get turned around again? I mean, I've always said this. Ed Snyder used to come on our program back in the day when we were down in Tampa, and he would come on. And I always said this. I go, one of the greatest things that the Flyers did back in the day was that they had a great minor league system when it came to goaltending. That was one of their fortes. Are you starting to see that come forward again a little bit, at least with the Flyers here?
Yes and no. I think Sam Ersson has 100% been struggling, and I would be actually really surprised to see him still with the team. Now, what I will say is Dan Vladar, who they have, playing as their starting goalie, even though he's technically a backup, I think that that's a step forward in progress. But I mean, do I think that the goalies in the AHL right now, they're going to be anything special? Probably not. But I do think once the Flyers have more money in that cap space, they can potentially trade for a good goalie.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I brought you on for the Eagles here too, because you know what? I've been covering now the Eagles now for 5 years. And I used to always say this. I go, God, that can't be that. I have never seen a team with more drama. I have never seen a team funner with a greater fan base to cover in my life. We get Angelo Cataldi on every single week, and we talk about it, and he talks about all these great fans here. So you tell me, can you win a Super Bowl with the 28th ranked offense in pro football? Do you think they can run through the tape when they're not getting it done on offense? And really, if you look at it too, Haley, it's 27 games now. They were 27th a year ago. They're 28th this year. Can you win a Super Bowl with this type of approach offensively?
Yes and no. And I only am saying yes, only for the pure fact that the defense has kept them alive. So I think the defense can win you another Super Bowl. But with the calls that Kevin Patullo is making, it makes me kind of question what this offense really is. We know we have talented players within Saquon Barkley and even Tank Bigsby, by the way, who's been playing stellar. We don't talk about Tank Bigsby enough. But when it comes to the drama with A.J. Brown and the receivers, I tend to blame Kevin Patullo more so than Jalen Hurts, even because at the end of the day, KP is the one making the decisions. And clearly, news gets leaked when it's Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown going rogue and making their own decisions. So that honestly, in my opinion, is still on Kevin Patullo, because why aren't you calling good enough plays? We saw in Green Bay, I have to tell you, that was one of the most disappointing wins I think I've seen, just because the offense, it just looks so mediocre. So it's a yes and no question. If the defense wasn't as good as it is, I would say, yeah, no, there's no chance. But because the offense has the best defense in the NFL, in my opinion, absolutely there's a chance.
How about this too? Look at this here for me. Let's get to Kevin Patullo here. I just said this, okay? So this guy's been in the NFL for 15 years. He was 1 year at A&M. They passed him over. Haley, they passed him over twice in the building. First, when they passed him over for Shane Steichen, they went Brian Johnson and elevated him there, right? Then they passed him over, went out of the building and got Kellen Moore and brought him in. And then you turn the keys over to a kindergarten cop and you sit there and you go like this to the guy. You go, wait a minute. He's never called plays. Because he's been his buddy, you elevate him? I mean, how did they land on giving the keys to the team and the reigning Super Bowl MVP to a guy that's never called offensive plays?
And that's a really good question, something that I even question. And Nick Sirianni, as head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, you need to take control. We all know Sirianni is an offensive-minded coach. So at the end of the day, if Kevin Patullo isn't doing his job as the head coach, you need to step in. Now, I also want to say, and kind of just thinking about this offense as a whole, yes, Jalen Hurts doesn't look the same. And two things can be true. And I think that's something that a lot of us fans, we like to kind of say, you know what, we love Jalen, Super Bowl MVP.
Wait a minute. Now you're starting to trend on kind of like where everybody's going to start getting mad at you, Haley, here. If you
it's okay. It's the facts.
Him.
It's the facts, because people don't want to listen to the facts when it comes to Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. And you have to wonder, too, why Kevin Patullo is calling certain plays and certain decisions like the run game. We've seen it struggle all season. Why are we running the football? Is there a problem with Jalen Hurts and his accuracy when throwing? And that's the questions. So I think it's a blame of all, but I do think the play calling isn't good, obviously. But at the end of the day, there's just so many questions that we have yet to have answered.
Absolutely. You know what? I think you're nailing it here. And I agree with you 100% here. Because here, do you believe A.J. Brown and Saquon Barkley, do you believe that they've lost a step?
Yes. I do. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think when you're going on social media and you're complaining about what's going on with your team, yeah, you might have lost a step of control in the locker room, not necessarily play skills, but control of the team. And the frustration, frustration is not going to win you Super Bowls. We see the Indianapolis Colts, right? A team that no one really expected to be that good. They have swag. They have something going on that the Eagles had last season. I'm just not seeing it with them this season.
That's a great take. It's not so much on the field, because here's what I brought up too, Haley. I brought up the fact that AJ's targets are down now, at least 6 targets from a year ago, and from the last couple of years. Barkley's carries are down 10 from a year ago. He had 345 carries. Now he's on pace for like 275 carries this year. So, we have to go back to one guy here. It's Jalen Hurts. He's a limited quarterback. Do you not agree with that? He's limited in the pocket. In what he can do. And I think that's the frustration here that you have with really the players. I think there's two factors going on in the locker room. I know you know about the Derek Gunn report. Derek Gunn wants to get in that locker room, okay? And he's saying that the coaches are getting frustrated. Well, what you just pointed out, if they're getting frustrated, they're getting frustrated because guys are open and Hurts can't hit them.
Yeah.
Do you buy that Derek Gunn report?
Yes and no. I mean, I think that there is accuracy to it. I it's hard, right? Because I always want to believe the journalist, right? As somebody that's in media with hockey, I would like for people to believe me when I come out with things. But at the same time, how can we 100% know what's going on?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. I mean, well, yeah, right. Unless you get it from the horse's mouth there too. Now let's go on to some side of the ball and let's do some really good stuff here with the defense. How shocked are you with Vic Fangio? I mean, if you blink, right? You close your eyes, you open it, you swear you see the 24 defense, especially over the last 8 quarters. I called it the blowtorch defense because they lost 5 guys off the starting Super Bowl team if you add Oren Burks to that. These guys that they had, and now they add Jalen Phillips to the thing. They're getting the Kobe back. He's been a weapon. He looks like a missile out there. How shocked have you been with Vic?
Oh man, not shocked at all. Vic Fangio is one of the best defensive minds in the NFL. And the talent on this defense. Now, it's really funny, actually, Dan. I got a Jordan Davis jersey his first season, his rookie season, because I believed in him. I liked him a lot in Georgia, and I was so excited to see him ball out. Now, I know people have said, he struggled, he hasn't been that great. This season, he has been unstoppable with his blocking and coverage. And overall, I have to tell you, there are so many more factors to the defense. I mean, we have Cooper DeJean, Quinton Mitchell. And I think when you have such talented players, it's easy to have a good defense, but it also comes with your defensive coordinator and Vic Fangio. And he is able, I am telling you, he is able to make this defense an A defense to an A plus defense just due to how he is, right? And that's not a small task because in the NFL, we've seen the game kind of shift from scoring a bunch of points to now defense being kind of the differential between winning and losing. And what Vic Fangio has done has transformed this defense, and this is a Super Bowl winning defense. Now, will the offense be able to help him do the job? We'll see. But as far as defense goes, this is the best defense that I have yet to ever see in my life.
Holy cow, that's fantastic. All right, it's Cowboy week now, All right, hey, the Cowboys, I think they're getting better, I mean, I think they've added Quentin Williams now to the mix. They got Overshawn back. We'll see if he's able to come back from that ACL, MCL injury because that's a devastating injury just to say that he's going to come back the following year. But, they've got a top flight offense right now. I mean, they're a better football team. It's going to be like a neutral environment because they're going to be inside. So, I mean, how do you think this game plays out on Sunday?
I think the Eagles are going to dominate. And I think that this is going to be the first time that we're going to see the offense really ignite because the Cowboys, I mean, I know that we always say in Philly, oh, the Cowboys suck. And I get it. I'm the same way. Trust me. But if you're just looking based on statistics, the Eagles are a much better football team. And I think, especially the NFC East, it's not that good this season. You have, the Cowboys, who are probably your most competitive team, the Giants, who are the Giants, and then, of course, the Commanders, who took a big fall down. So, this is one of those games where if you're the Birds, you got to go all in and remind everybody why you are the defending Super Bowl champions. So, for me, I think it's going to be a big run game. I think that we're going to see a lot from not only Saquon, but again, my boy Tank Bigsby. And again, I think the defense, I really do like Tank, though, but I do think the defense is going to just prove why they're so stellar, and they're going to probably hold the Cowboys to I would say under 14 points. It's going to be a low scoring game for the Cowboys.
Okay, so you thinking 31, maybe 13, something like that?
I like more like 27, well, you
Oh,
would
so
have to.
the offense gets going, but not too much.
Oh yeah, no, we keep the expectations low with the offense. We're not going to blow them out like crazy. We still have to remember we haven't seen a lot of accuracy from Jalen Hurts. And we've also seen guys like Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith drop the ball, and we can
Yeah,
blame the weather conditions. But since you're going to be, in a controlled environment, there's no excuses this week.
absolutely. Who do you think the biggest threats are in the NFC? If for the Eagles in the NFC, who would you put up there as your top 3 teams you think are the biggest threats?
I have to say Bucks. The Bucks have always been a problem, especially in the playoffs for the Eagles in most recent times. I'm going to still have to go with Green Bay. I still think the Packers have a lot of talent, despite the fact that the Birds won. It wasn't a big win by any means. And then, oh, this is a good one because there's not that many teams
But the
this
Rams.
year. Oh, see, that's a good one, but I don't know. It's so hard. I am telling you, when I'm thinking of teams in the NFC, a lot of them have been so disappointing that I try to think of it towards the playoffs, right? And how I
Yeah.
think certain teams will do.
So you look more at matchups,
I
like
look at
because you
matchups.
think the matchup for the Bucks and Eagles has always been a problem for the
Yeah,
two teams, right?
especially
Especially
in
for the
recent times.
Eagles. Yeah, and so when you see the Rams, you're going by the fact that they pretty much have owned Sean McVay in them. So you look at
Yeah.
more at the matchups, right?
Maybe the Lions even. I know that the Eagles most recently beat them, but again, I still think there's a lot of talent and there was a lot of injury. I want to remind everybody that's listening and watching that your secondary for Detroit was mostly injured. So you didn't have a full healthy roster. So that to me is another factor where I'm like, okay, well, if everyone was healthy when it comes to the playoffs, would it be a completely different ball game?
So Nick Sirianni, Angelo is not a fan of Nick Sirianni, and I can't think that I am too. Especially, I mean, Haley, when he does that decision making with fourth down, you're sitting there and you're going like, dude, why are you giving them the opportunity? There's one thing to like. I thought Dan Campbell was too aggressive, 0 for 5 on fourth down, and I thought Sean McVay was too conservative in that fourth quarter, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, when you think, what's your opinion of Nick Sirianni?
He's gotten a little too cocky this season. I think that he thinks he's the big man in the room. Hey, I just got us a Super Bowl victory. And he's not doing what he did last season, was play with more brains. And I don't want to call the coach stupid by any means, right? Because he's still an NFL coach.
Ah,
But some of the decision making is what you see in high school football games. It doesn't make sense to me. And the trust that he has with the offense, by the way, doesn't add up either, considering how the offense hasn't been dependable. So, in terms of a coach, of course, I like Sirianni because he got the Birds, a Super Bowl victory, two Super Bowl appearances. But at the same time, this season, I'm not really buying into the whole, Sirianni bandwagon. I just can't do it.
now wait a minute here. Now maybe this is because of this. We had Doug Peterson on with us about a month and a half ago, Xander. We had him on, and Xander's a big Doug Peterson guy. So is it because you're a Doug Peterson person that you look at Doug and you go, because Doug brought the first one, there's a statue out there. He brings the first one, and always the first one is always going to be the most meaningful one. Is it there that you like Doug more and you looked at Doug being more? Because I think Doug was a great coach. I still think Doug's a great coach. He was in Jacksonville. Who's going to be a great coach in Jacksonville inside of Tom Coughlin, right? So
Absolutely.
is that where you go down and where you look at it? You're more of a Doug fan?
I think what Doug did was so special and unique. And what he was able to do with that team is something that no other coach is going to be able to do in this franchise. It was special. I think that Doug didn't get the respect that he deserved from the organization. And I understand, you want your team to go back and to win again, and you're not always going to have the best seasons. But they did Doug so dirty. But yet with Sirianni, they make excuses for him. I mean, the behavior that he had last season during the press conferences with his kids, it was so unprofessional. And the organization made so many excuses for Sirianni, but yet they can Doug as soon as they can. So for me, there is a soft spot for Doug Peterson, obviously, because I think that he didn't get the respect. And at the same time, he didn't act like a child when things didn't go his way. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. Howie Roseman, what's your spin on him? I mean, you know, I think, and you tell me if you think I'm wrong on this. I think ever since the Jalen Rager deal and the Jalen Rager pick, he has been a much better talent evaluator. He's listened to his guys better. Because if you think about it, in all the years that he had control of the personnel, he couldn't draft a corner to save his life. He couldn't draft an edge rusher to save his life. And all of a sudden now, you're seeing over the last 5 years, really, since that draft, you're seeing guys really hitting. You're seeing guys like Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. You're seeing the Kobe Dean. I mean, Carter's going to be a great player. Jordan Davis is coming on this year. First year, he's really started coming on. I mean, what's your takeaway on him?
Howie Roseman, what can I say about him? He is the best general manager. He is so smart and strategic. And I get that, certain players it didn't work out that we most recently traded for. And I get it, things happen. But at the same time, the fact that he is able to make something out of nothing, and this isn't just a one time thing. I mean, this is a multiple time thing. I mean, you think about Saquon, right? And you think about just all these other moves that he's made, how he does with the draft. It's unbelievable. So when I look at Howie, I look at somebody that is like a guide in my eyes, because you're not going to see any general manager do what he does. And maybe I'm a little biased. You know what? I'm 100% biased, right? Because I'm an Eagles fan. But I haven't seen anything like it. Like, in Howie, we trust. And I think every single person that's an NFL fan can look at their general manager and say, you know what? They're not doing what Howie Roseman's doing. He really is something special. And the franchise, they're going to hurt so badly when he's gone, because he makes it look easy.
He surely does here. All right. Do they win the Super Bowl? Do they go back to back?
Oh, man. As a fan, I want to say, oh, yeah, absolutely. But as somebody that's still, down on the offense, I'm going to say no. Um, Unless the offense turns things around, I can't
The
say
schedule softens up a bit.
it does. But even, and I want to bring us back to the first time we played the Giants in New York. Well, I guess you could say in New Jersey. It was an ugly loss. I know a lot of us were kind of distracted by the Phillies, but the Giants are not a good team.
No.
And I just feel like I haven't seen the Eagles have that moment of magic. And again, when it's playoff time, it's a completely different ball game. And yes, I think they're going to get home field advantage. I think they're going to have that, right? But what if a team comes in, let's just say for all fun and games, it's the Bucks, right? I don't know if I would feel confident in them beating them. So again, I think that it's easy for us to say yes. I think the AFC looks like a complete mess, if we're being honest. But this season in football, Dan, it's weird. There's not a lot of good teams.
No.
And the teams that were good kind of digress, like especially the Ravens. I know Lamar and the injury, and
They're going to win that division, though.
it's unbelievable. And they shouldn't have. And that's the thing. So this season's weird. Watch it be like the Colts. And I kind of jokingly say that. And they've only beat really bad teams, but that's how the season's going to turn out to be.
How about this, too? Are you on the side of the margin of error? Because a year ago, the margin of error, because you had that dominant run game, that's where you had that margin of error. You don't have that because the run game is not where it was. Now you're down at 19th, somewhere hanging out there. Passing game is at 28th, as I mentioned to you. So it's the margin of error where a couple turnovers, that's the doom here, where a year ago you could kind of maybe run yourself out of trouble, right?
Oh, absolutely. And all the penalties that the Birds have taken. I mean, it's coming to the point where you can't really, trust they're going to come out of bad situations on the field. And we saw how the tush push went in the last game. It didn't. And that used to be 100% guarantee. So the margin of error, not only is it big, but even in those moments where you're able to come out of it and have life again, you can't even do that.
All right. I'm going to have to circle back now because I'm a big hockey guy, just so you know.
I like that.
I mean, Bobby Orr is a dear friend of mine. Dave Vanderchuk, all them dudes are my boys and all that, right? So, all right, the Olympics, man. What are we doing in the Olympics? Obviously, Team Canada and Team USA, that's coming up in a couple months. Team USA have a shot to win that thing?
I hope so. I'm a huge fan of the Kachucks. They're some of my favorite players right now in the game. And it's really interesting about Team Canada. So I'm going to spill a little bit hockey right now. Jordan Binnington is the projected goalie for Team Canada, and he's had an awful season. It's been ugly, some of his worst performances. So for me, I'm actually like, you know what? USA might have a chance, because if your goalie isn't playing well, honestly, that's the difference maker. So I hope Team USA does win. I like that John Tortorella is an assistant coach. I know a lot of people in Philadelphia didn't like him, but at the end of the day, he's one of the great hockey minds. And I encourage those folks who didn't like him, look what he did in Tampa. Look what he did with New York. I mean, he is so smart. And even Matvey Michkov himself misses Tortorella. Now, again, I think that we see coaches as hard and we say, oh, well, they're hard. The guys, their feelings might be hurt. I'm not making excuses. Like, you're an athlete. You're supposed to take good direction. So I think with him, John Cooper, I mean, I see a lot of good for Team USA. But again, this has been one of the weirdest hockey seasons. We've seen the Penguins playing really well. And of course, the Devils too. I mean, they're unstoppable. The Avalanche are unstoppable. So when you look at a lot of the different players that are mixing on those teams, then you're going to feel confident. But my boy, Jake Ottinger, okay? I am such a fan of him, and he's probably projected to be the backup goalie for Team USA. It looks like Connor Hellebuck might be the starting goalie. I'm an Ottinger fan, so I think you should have Ottinger in net. That's my biggest takeaway because he's more consistent in the playoffs. Whereas when you look at a guy like Hellebuck, he's not. And the Olympics are sort of like the playoffs, but on steroids. It's you're playing for your country, and that matters. So you want to put the guy in that's going to get the job done.
I'll tell you, I follow. I'm a huge Tampa Bay Lightning fan, and John Cooper and I are dear friends, and I agree with you on Tortorella. You know what? You know what's funny because I Dockett also I was friends with because he was the head coach of the Lightning, and John Tortorella to me, I just loved him, and I remember when he got the job in Philly, I said, "Well, let me tell you something. You know the welcome mat you have in your front of your house, that thing gets worn out, really fast with him. He's like that mat. If you're not used to that guy, because the way he talks to people, you're not going to be prepared for that because he is a direct dude. But when it comes to hockey knowledge, John Tortorella is one of my favorite people. I remember when he pulled Ivy Bullen out, and I go, dude, the guy just won you a Stanley Cup. He goes, the guy sucks right now. And I'm going, okay. He's just that guy.
He is, but I have to say that, Tortorella has shut me down so many times when it comes to asking questions about the team. But he is such a charismatic person that right before, the whole him leaving on his own, whatever you want to call it, right? He spoke with me for about 20 minutes about his passion for rescuing animals. And I think that people don't see that side of him. And they just see this guy that yells and has, a temper issue, but that's not really who he is. And what he was able to do with Matvey Michkov and how he was able to allow Michkov to feel comfortable jumping the ozone and taking these nice, nasty one-timers is something that kind of represents how coaches are in the KHL. And you're not going to find a lot of that in the NHL. So he was very unique as a coach. And I'm disappointed that other people didn't appreciate what he brought to the Flyers because, again, you get a team of not so talented players, to tell you the truth, and they're still 2 to 3 years away. But again, when you have a guy like Tortorella that's so competitive and used to winning and wanting to bring out the best, and fans, they feel like he's being mean, it's very frustrating as a reporter.
So finally here, being a media person in Philly for you has been what?
Oh man, it's been a dream. I mean, with what I've done with the Flyers, this is my 5th season now covering them. So it's been a dream come true. I love hockey and, talking to the guys. It's, like no other thing. But just with all the other kind of projects I've done and things I've done in the past, I love connecting with the city first and foremost. So being able to talk to people like me that maybe don't have a mic in front of them, but still have opinions and they want someone that's relatable. And I'm like, you know what? I love it. I'm a South Philly person. I love talking birds, and I'm just really lucky that, this is what I get to do. So I love it. I don't take it for granted.
I'll tell you what, I had a producer. Her name was Joy Taylor. I'll
Yep.
never forget. So I had Joy with me when I was in QAM down in Miami. And I remember her telling me, she's like, and I looked at her, I go, you're going to start doing my updates. And she goes, you can do that? I go, yeah, I got complete control of my content.
Yeah.
And so she goes like, okay, so that thing you started seeing with her on the on Colin Coward show where they were doing that update, that's where they got that from. And I always asked her, and I knew it was really tough for her getting into the business. So there's very few females that are in this business. Have you found that to be a tough putt? That you're in a male-dominated business, and it's really kind of hard to kind of stretch out your wings there a little bit to try to get in the room because it is so male-dominated. And I always thought we need more minorities, and we also need more women that are in this profession because I think if we expand, I think it'll make it better.
Yeah, absolutely. I've always had this mindset of I want the most qualified person to have a position, right? And that could be anything. I think
Anything.
male, female, if you're the most knowledgeable and you bring the most, then you should get it. I think the problem is that sometimes when a woman does get a position and the immediate thing from some guys, and not all guys, but some guys are, well, does she really know what she's talking about? And it's the sense of having to prove yourself. But I like proving myself because I do have the knowledge and I study. Like every day I wake up and I read ESPN for at least 2 hours. Like that's what I do on the daily. So I think studying is so important so you can become knowledgeable because I don't want to say that if you don't know what you're talking about, then you don't deserve something. But I think at the end of the day, it's what you put in is what you get out. So I think that if there are women that are knowledgeable and they're good at what they do, they should get opportunities. And I'm sure it's harder for me, honestly. I put myself out there and I'm like, hey, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Either way, I'm still going to be talking about the Birds one way or another, or any sports team.
I love it. I mean, you got a great personality, and I hope we can do this again.
Me
I
too.
mean, we definitely will be. I promise you, especially after the tough games. Let's see if we can keep doing this here, because I'd love to have you on here, because I think you really bring a lot, and I think you're very knowledgeable, and I like your attitude too, especially anything from Philly. I'll tell you how I learned. My friend Jerome Brown, who I played college football with at the University of Miami, I'll never forget. He goes, Sills, you could walk down a street in Philly, and if everyone has their windows open in September, you can walk down and never miss a play. He
It's
goes,
true.
you'll never miss a play when the Birds are on. So he's like this. It's like it's like a community thing, isn't it? When you're talking about the Birds, it's not just a team, people rooting for the team. It's really something with civic pride, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I have an Eagles tattoo. Like it's one of those things where
Good.
it's our identity. It's who we are. We go to Wawa and we say "Go Birds" to each other, and it sounds like, oh, that's the stereotype South Philly, but it's real. And there is times I'm walking from my car to my place, and I'll look on the TVs, and it's literally just Eagles. It could be anything Eagles on any given day, and it's awesome. I mean, we live and die for this football team. And I think that's why it's so special because a lot of places don't have the same passion.
No
And you
way.
don't have to live in Philadelphia either to have that passion. And I think being a Birds fan is universal. I mean, I know Eagles fans that are all the way out, like in Europe, and they're so passionate. And I love that passion. We don't have that enough.
Is it the team or is it the people in the city?
It's all of it. I mean, at the end of the day, it gives us something to believe in. And I know that sounds really deep, but it is that deep. Life is hard, life sucks, but every single Sunday, Monday, Friday, Thursday, with the NFL expanding, you have an opportunity to just focus on something that we all have in common. And a lot of us don't have a lot of things common with each other than literally being Eagles fans.
Well, you killed it. I'm going to have you on again big time
Thank
because
you.
you are really good. By the way, just do this. You don't have to say anything because I know you're probably on one of them gag orders
Oh,
here.
no, I'm not.
Okay, wait. Joe Bell, thumb up, thumb down.
Thumb up. He was such a nice guy to me. I I haven't seen him in a little while, to be honest, but I've
He hired me at QAM.
wow.
He was my boss at QAM, and I worked for him for a little bit, and I know Joe very well. Yeah, we
Nice
worked
guy.
with each other. Yeah. Okay, so he was. I see why he liked you. I mean, you have a lot of. I mean, you and Joy have a lot in common. I think you're very. See, Joy really works hard at it.
Yeah,
And
he
she's going
does.
through a lot of stuff right now. She told me all the stuff that went on at Fox, and I told her, I go, hey, what you think was going to happen? You're a chick. You're going to treat you like that. You got to
Yep.
be above that. And so she got it. She understood it. We get her on here all the time too. And you are so welcome back. Haley, thank you so
Yeah.
much. I hope we could do it again, my friend.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate you.
You got it. There we go. Haley Taylor Simon. We will do that definitely again here, folks. Absolutely great stuff. Good. All right. Michael Irvin will be with us at 4:30. Xander, if we missed some super chats, by the way, over 1,100 people in here right now. We really appreciate each and every single one of you watching us on all the platforms. Let me check it out. I found a new way to check it out, too. There's X. Yep. There, I see it here. Very good. All right. So we got over 1,100 people in here watching us right now. We appreciate all of you in here. Please do me a favor. Hit that like button. Michael Irvin will be with us at 4:30. Big Z, here we go. Seals, interviewing is like an art. Best interviewer. Jason, thank you, my friend. Thank you. Yes. Well, you know what? When we invite people in, we want them to come back. Well, the only maybe people I don't want to come back are MRAs. That's not true. Xander anymore. By the way, we'll save him for Big Z. Big Z, okay, here we go. Sills, you need to have more women on the show. Okay. I thought that yesterday. I said, why don't I get Haley on? I am absolutely open to it. If you notice, minorities, women, I try to find a place to put them on our program. I always do that. I've always done that with women. Always try to find a spot. No matter what they post shit about me. Hey, do not believe what people post about Big Sills. Most of the people that post shit about me have never met me or know any of my friends. Okay? None of them. I'm working on Kay Adams. Relax, guys. Hey, is that Philly 500 in there? Hey, Sills, ask Irvin to put himself into AJ's shoes. Let's say Jimmy ran the inefficient passing game through Alvin Harper and Billy Davis, treating Irvin as an afterthought. What do you think would happen? Yeah. Okay. I thought you guys were 95% great, and you treated her great. I will give you that. That's why we will get Kay Adams on. Kay goes like this, though. I asked her to come on the program. You know what she said? You better tell those people that go on your show, because I've checked in on your show. You better tell those people I'll kick their ass. I said, hey, you know that beautiful woman you see doing that? She's got a sharp attitude, man. And one of the reasons I love her, because she's got one of them sharp ass attitudes. Get my baby Kay Adams on, Sil. All right. Okay. Well, okay, the cop was here watching it. I got it. I'll hear it later. Hey, hit the like button. All right. Now, we are going to get into the Dallas Cowboys. Okay? That's college football, right? Heather's college football. I've had her on before. College foot. By the way, noodle arm. She basically thinks Hurts is a noodle arm too. How you doing? Noodle arm. How you doing? What happened? She thinks Hurts is struggling too. Okay. How you doing? All right. The Dallas Cowboys. You know, I'm pretty close to picking them. Yeah. Hey, I bet you like a noodle. You and M. Reyes. Okay? A lot of people want to be but can't. Really? Thank you, doctor. All right. Do you believe that this drama will derail this season? Do you believe the drama is going to derail the Eagles season? The woman we need on the show is Aunt Betty. No way. No. Because then I won't be able to say anything. Not allowed to say anything negative or anything like it. You know, by the way, she does agree with some of you in here. It's the way you say shit, Dan. By the way, my aunt has been with me since the day I opened my eyes. Just so you know. The day I opened my eyes. Okay? So you got to know that. This isn't just like, hey, I call my aunt up every 5 days or 7 days. That's not what that is. Okay? Okay, that's not what that is. Hey, Prince, can we stay on the rails? You know, you remind me of Prince right now. You know, when guys go away on a business trip, they get into like the lounge of like the Marriott and they hang out at the Marriott. And you know what they're doing? Oh my God. Look, and you get away from your house, you see a chick for the first time, kind of control yourself. Oy. Come on now. You think this drama's going to derail this team? Do you? Oh, I do. You ain't winning the Super Bowl with that shitty offense. All that bitching going on. Well, I'll tell you what, I gotta give Big Z a lot of love, though. You know what he does? He's fighting it. Yeah, the offense sucks. I think we can win like this. I'm going, no, he doesn't. There's no way he thinks that. I like my girls. Dude, you're mentally challenged. I like my girls curvy. I'm surprised you like girls. Oh my God. I'm surprised you like girls, dude. I'm kidding. We're good. Michael Irvin's going to join us in a couple minutes here. We'll get his thoughts. Okay, hang on here. Get this. Here's Greg Cosell. I got to retweet this. I'm just totally confused in many ways, befuddled by the fact that the Eagles' passing game is so elementary and remedial in its concepts. The question I keep asking myself is why? Cosell thinks the Eagles' passing issues goes beyond A.J. Brown. I got to get Greg Cosell on now. Why is it so remedial? Which means it's elementary. Why do you think you have an elementary passing game? Because the quarterback's limited. How many fucking times do you need to hear people say that? Prince likes fat chicks, 300 pounds. Well, you got to have context there to it, depending on how tall is she? Sills, the shitty offense is not drama. It's structural flaws. The AJ issues drama. Okay, fair enough. Ooh. Yes. Yes. I agree. Your coaches are elementary. Dude, you don't have very good coaches on offense right now. Hey, is this fair to say? When the Eagles hire, ask yourself this. I'm going to write this down because I think this is a great topic here. When the Eagles hire a quality coach like Shane Steichen or a Kellen Moore, Nick looks better. When they hire a coordinator that's suspect, like Brian Johnson and Kevin Patullo, it exposes Nick's inability to be a problem solver. Is that fair? Nick's the head coach, dude. Nick's the head coach. Something's wrong. Okay? She's built like DK Metcalf. Nothing wrong with that. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised you like muscle mommies. Hey, it's the first I heard that on the news the other night. I don't even know what it means. Hey, I swear to you, I have no idea what that means. Muscle mommies. I heard that somewhere. I think I heard it on the news. So I don't know what it means. I swear to God, I have no idea what it means. Okay? I heard it for the first time. Okay? I'm like, I have not. I'm sitting there, I go, well, the guy liked a muscle mommy. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? I was like, what the fuck is that? Hey, yeah, somebody Google it for me. A fucking muscle. I'm like, muscle mommy? What the hell is that? I'm almost embarrassed that came out of my mouth. One of you people to speak the truth. How you doing? Hey, man, M. Reyes, you know you're my boy, man. You know I love you. I do, man. This guy gives me more shit every day. He's here for 4 hours. He goes back and forth with me, and I would not. I may say some bullshit to him, but he takes it, and I take his bullshit. We're all good. That's the kind of show we run here. If there's one guy that I'd like to run out of here, it's him sometimes. Yeah, but I wouldn't. Not any of you, really. The people on Twitter, though, those are the people that, let me see. Dude, that is crazy great. Oh, my God. All the Jalenites are out in force right now. They're all moaning. You dumb fuck. You racist pig. Really? Hilarious. That's why we're here. All good, bro. Okay? Great bar in Southern Cal and Belmont Shores. It's called Live Bait. It's loaded with smoking hot. Ooh. Yes, sir. That's a great looking area. My daughter plays rugby up in that neck of the woods. Okay? Okay, Curtis, good point. Other than keeping the team on the rails. John McMullen says he's picking the Cowboys this week. Woo! Picking the Cowboys. All right. All right. Here are the Dallas Cowboys then. Let's get into it. Before Michael Irvin comes on. Did he really? Xander, John picked them? Oh, okay, he didn't say. All right, here's the Cowboys. Here's the Cowboys offense. Dude, this thing's one of the best offenses in pro football. And I'll tell you where they've improved. They've improved in their center and two guards play. Their offensive tackle play is terrible. Jalen Phillips could have a game in this one on Sunday. Total offense, they're third. They got the number one passing team in pro football. Not a shocker with Dak. This will be the third time in Dak's career he's led that offense to the number one passing offense in pro football. They're 12th in rushing. Dude, they were down like a 28th last year. They have improved massively in running the football. That kid they got that's running the ball for them, man, I can't believe they've improved that much in rushing the football. And that has to be that also that they're getting play out of the offensive line. Javonte Williams, man, I mean, honest to God, I looked up his numbers here and I'm going like, hold on here. This guy's got 800 yards rushing already and 9 touchdowns. He's running the ball right now at 5 yards a clip, with Dak going to throw the football at 4,500 yards. This thing looks like the Bengal offense of a year ago. That's right. Who said that? Cardo. Let me give you credit for it. Yeah, this thing looks like the Bengals from last year. Shitty defense. I do think the defense is getting better, though. Okay? Glazing the Cowboys. They're number 1 in passing. They're number 3 in total. They're 12 in run offense. They're second in scoring. They are 13th in red zone and 6th in third downs. Yeah, I'll glaze that. Better than your bullshit offense, where every metric is the worst in the league. Yeah, I'll glaze that. That's productive. That's a great offense. The key to game is going to be a great offense versus an emerging defense. Okay? They're emerging. The Cowboys are in the same position you were in 2021 right now. After that bullshit start you had, where you were 2-4, that's kind of where the Cowboys are right now. They added Quinnen Williams to get an Overshawn back on defense. They've added some pieces. Their offense is getting better. Yeah. I think they're the 2021 Philadelphia Eagles right now. I still think they're suspect in their corners. Their offensive tackles are not very good. The middle of their, which will help them on Sunday. I'm not saying that the Cowboys have the advantage in the middle in there. I'm saying at least they'll be able to defend them. And if Dak can get the football out, they're going to be able to move the sticks. They're going to move the chains on you. Here, this is like your because your defense has shitty numbers too. I mean, if you go by the numbers with the Eagles, you got shitty numbers everywhere. Except red zone. The rest of them, they're shitty. But it's not true. You're emerging and ascending. Okay? Your trends in the first couple months, like you've gotten better the last 8 weeks. Or excuse me, you've gotten better the last 8 quarters. Yeah. No, not true. Not the past 2 weeks. Yes, the past 2 weeks you've gotten better. Yes, the past 2 weeks. Because here, I'll tell you exactly who you are. Most of you don't like to hear it, but here's who you are. And here's what you were, okay? No, not the last 2 weeks. We're the best defense in the fucking NFL. No, you're not. You're ascending to that. You're playing like it now. You're not listening. Total defense, the Eagles are 17th. Right where I said you'd be. Passing defense, you're 15th. Rushing defense, you're 19th. Scoring defense, you're 8th, which is great. Red zone, you're 3rd. And third down, you've improved this a lot. There was a time when you were hanging down there. You've now gone to 20th. Those numbers are shitty because your defense was coming along, getting better, better, better. Then you added Phillips. Then you got Jakobi. Probably the last month, you've gotten better. And I would say that the Cowboys have gotten better. Again, I'm going to need to see a little more, but they are getting better. They're getting better. I think the kid they got from Green Bay, and now you add him, that's a pretty good little tandem they got with Clark and with Williams in the middle. Dude, Quinnen Williams is a good fucking football player. That guy's a beast. That guy's an elite player. Okay? I don't think the 19th ranked defense is elite. But again, as I said, I think they're ascending. Now, here again, see these numbers. Total 30th. They're better than this. Passing 30th. They're better than this. All these numbers. This clearly comes down. You got an offense completely in Dak carrying their football team because their defense has a long way to go. I will say this about Jerry Jones. Dude, Pickens is absolutely sensational. Here's a comment that I'm going to make that's going to sound crazy. I think Jerry Jones has made the defense, and I think Jerry Jones has made the Cowboys better without Micah Parsons. They're better. They're getting better. Their football team's getting better. They are getting better. And, I mean, yeah. Do I think, like, here's their season. If they win this game on Sunday and go to 5-5-1, they got a pretty good role to try to make it to the playoffs. They're not going to win the NFC East. Nobody's saying that. They're not going to be one of the top 4 seeds in the NFC. That's not where we're going. But do I think that they can make a playoff run? And do I think they could be better than San Francisco? I do. Okay, like, I don't really buy, and I think I disagree with Haley. I think the Buccaneers, now I get why she said that though, because the Buccaneers have always been a problem and have always given the Eagles a pretty tough ball game. Okay, so I see when she's talking matchups, but I'm just not buying them, man. I'm really not. I'm not buying them right now. Seals, why are the Eagles fans so triggered over the positive things that you're saying about the Cowboys and the negative things that you say about the passing game and the shitty passing game and the noodle arm quarterback you have? What do you think? Michael, anytime you say something and anytime you bring up truth, justice, and the Big Sills way, you got people doing that. The rest will try to keep Dallas in this game like they always do. Jerry pays them. That's good. With what? With what? Barbecue sandwiches? They need that running back and wide receiver back. Cowboys got a pretty damn good looking offensive football team. Okay? Get this. Because the praise for the birds is never as loud as the criticism. Sills is very hard on the birds because you're in a moment right now. Look, I've said this before. It's like working on the pietà, and you're down to the very end. You're polishing right now. You guys are polishing. You're not at the beginning stages like the Cowboys are at creating the statue, banging it out. You're polishing. You're refining it. You're trying to get to the finish line with the finished product. You're closer to the finish than the Cowboys are. Okay? You're closer. Get this. Dak is hurt. If Dak is hurt and he's putting that year up and your guy's healthy, wow. What a difference in QBs. Okay? Seals Tampa. Oh, okay. Yeah, they need Bucky Irvin. And they need Evans. They're not going to get Evans back until later in the year, if they get him back at all. They need Godwin back. They need to give Chris Godwin a DNA test because that ain't the same guy. Chris Godwin was offered more money by the Patriots. And he decided to stay in Tampa. He got injured a year ago in the Ravens game. That dude has not been the same. Okay? He has just not been the same, man. Remember the Giant game or Detroit game was going to be another 49er game for. Well, who said that? Some of you said that. I said the reason you won't have a 23 is because of the defensive coaches you had. Seals, they've been polishing that turd for 30 years. How you doing? I see Dak getting beat up on Sunday. Lots of pressure coming his way. Well, that will have to be the fact. You better hope your guy, Jalen Phillips, ain't injured. On the injury report, left practice. Probably precautionary. Remember, he is a really good player when healthy. Remember, when healthy. Okay? He's a really good player when healthy. So, yeah. Let's see here. I don't know why the Bucs have waited so long to get to him. Had 104 on the ground, had a touchdown catch too against Buffalo. I don't know, man. I mean, I do think he's a good football player. And broke all, like you said, broke all kinds of records up there too. And that's the home of Jim Brown and all them dudes. Can Hurts shit his pants and leave the game so Tanner, dude, if you see Tanner McKee, you got big problems. Okay? You don't need. Dak has a hip injury from last game. You think Dak Prescott's missing this football game against the Eagles? You're crazy. How the Dolphins let Phillips out of the building is beyond me. Well, it's because of the owner. The owner's a buffoon. I mean, at the end of the day, the owner is Stephen Ross. You know? Seals, who would you say has been the best player on the Eagles defense all season so far? Okay, I'll do it. I was going to wait. I'm going to put something up here to you guys. And let me see this. I'm going to show you something about Quinyon Mitchell. Okay. Okay. Here are the men that are up for the NFL Defensive Player of the Year award. Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, Aiden Hutchinson, Will Anderson, Cooper DeJean, Max Crosby, Brian Burns, and Quinyon Mitchell. You got two dudes that are up right now for Defensive Player of the Year awards. If I had to put my vote down right now, I wouldn't have a problem right now putting Quinyon Mitchell in the top 5 for NFL Defensive Player of the Year. I think it's going to be still the guy in Cleveland that's going to win that award. I don't really think you're not going to put him in there. He's having another spectacular season. Okay? He just really is. He's having another year where you're having a spectacular year. And but Q, in my opinion, has played so far in 10 games. He has a right to be in that conversation as a Defensive Player of the Year. Now, is the fact that he plays in a zone going to hurt him because he's not a lockdown corner? I think I think that comment, because most teams are in nickel and they're in dime 70% of the time almost, like 69.5% of the time. Most of the time, you're in nickel personnel. That comment, because you're not a man corner, I think that hurts him a little bit. And plus, you have Cooper in there, and you could actually even make the argument that Bond is having another All-Pro year. There's really 3 dudes that can make first-team All-Pro here. Bond, Cooper, and Q could make All-Pro. The Pro Bowl right now, Davis, maybe Carter, Bond, Q, Cooper. Those guys can make the Pro Bowl. On offense, I don't think you have one Pro Bowl player. Maybe Mulata. Maybe. But you don't have one Pro Bowl player on offense, which is the psychotic thing of this conversation. You don't have one player that's a Pro Bowl type player. Okay? You don't. So, I mean, right? Let me send Mike a note just in case. There we go. So on offense, you don't really have anybody that I think is a Pro Bowl type player. Okay? Defense, I think you got a ton. Chills, I want to see Carter slam dunk for baiting him last game. Laugh and go, hey, go Birds. And listen, he'll be motivated. Smitty's not going to make the Pro Bowl with the 28th worst passing offense. How is that guy going to make the Pro Bowl? How is he going to make the Pro Bowl? Dallas Goedert maybe playing some pretty good ball, especially if he keeps those touchdowns up. Absolutely. If the Eagles get good pressure with 4, Dak is going to turn it over. He's proven that time after time. You know what, though, dude? I will say this. You guys are using the playoff metric. He doesn't really traditionally do that in the regular season. He's had pretty good success against the Eagles in the regular season. If you guys are using the metric of the playoffs for that, you're wrong. Okay? Dak not out. Who told you that? All the Eagle fans reaching, looking for anything. Hey, listen, I think Dak's having a great year. He really is. Okay? We'll get it when Xander comes on at the top of the hour. We're efforting our friend Michael Irvin. Hopefully, Mike jumps in right now. Let's see here. If defenses could catch, Dak has 20 INTs. Bro, Dak Prescott has to throw the ball for them to win. They're not going to win any other way. They're not going to win on defense. Now, I think that's changed. So it's going to take Playmaker a month to get on your show. Maybe. Okay? Let's see here. He's click the link. Let's see here. Hey, bro, log on now. How? Click the link. Click the link. There we go. There we go. Big Z, help him out. Us old guys. Oh, man. I knew it, man. Ugh. He said 4:30 Dallas time, which is 5:30. Okay. Okay, let's just see if we can get him up here. Okay, I thought you meant Dallas time, 4:30. All right. Xander, let's see if we can get him on at 5:30 his time. Can you send him a text, please? And see if we then you come on now and we'll do it that way. Sorry, guys, for the confusion here. Okay, so, okay. Okay, hey, we will come on 4:30 Dallas time. Dallas time. Okay, hold on, guys. All right, Big Z. Let's do it now, big guy. Hey, we'll do it now. God knows, he'll probably click on now. Hey, you know these old dudes, man. All right, let me get him going here. Without further ado. Oy vey. Okay. No, he's coming on now. He's trying to log on. Oi. Okay. Okay. Trying to log. Okay, trying to log in. Click the link. Click the link. Okay. Okay, let's see what happens here. Oh, boy. Maybe it's the Miami thing. I don't know. Maybe it's a hurricane thing. Let's see if we're able to do this. All right, guys. All right, we'll get Xander right after him if he's able to log on right now. All right, Big Z, why don't you just come on right now and see if he pops in? He pops in.
You don't think Mike's coming?
Well, no, he said he's trying to click on right now.
I sent him the link. It's funny because stars like this, they don't read text from people who they don't have their number from. So I send him when Sileo's texting him. I put in all caps, Sileo link here.
Yeah.
Click this link for Sileo show. I've sent him that 8 times. Come on, Mike. You want me to give him a call?
Yeah, give
Or
him a
you want to
call.
come on at 5:30?
Just see what he wants to do. Give him a call. Give him a call.
All right.
All right, man. All right, guys. We'll go back here. All right. No, he won't. No, he's not ever flagged. That's kind of like, I should have known that. Okay? I should have known that. I should have said, is he in Dallas right now? Or is he in Miami right now? Okay? I mean, oh boy. Yeah. So I do think this game's going to be a great football game, though, this weekend. I really do. And I'm going to have to pick the Cowboys. I don't know yet. I think I'm going to need another day yet. Okay? I do. I think I'm going to need another day for me to make that call. Hey, no, listen. Make no mistake about it. Yeah. I think this game's going to be close. I really do. All right. I'd said it again, man. I think the Dallas Cowboys, I think they've gotten better. And I think Jerry Jones has done a nice job at getting the football team turned back around again. I really do. Now, listen, do I think that they're in the conversation talent-wise? Talent-wise with the Eagles? No, I don't. Okay? I don't think they're in the conversation. John did say he was leaning Cowboys, but he didn't 100% commit to it. Okay? All right. Yes. So, listen, I believe that they've gotten better. I really do. Okay? Let's see here. Just talked to Playmaker on the phone. Dude's a legend. There you have it, right there. Let's see if we can pull him up here in a minute when he comes up. Going to come down to turnovers. I happen to agree with that. That's correct. The Eagles continue to protect their football. There's no question about it that this is going to be a very interesting ball game. Dallas has seemingly found it here. All right. You know what, man? I think Michael Irvin would only do this for one guy. If they don't get it right, there's no way he's ever going to do this. And you know what? I keep getting crap from people. They go, you see your boy Irvin on the sidelines? And last time we had him on, I said it again. I go, I've known that guy since he was 18 years old. 18 years old, I've known him. That guy's been running up and down the sidelines since he was at St. Thomas. Without further ado, he is my friend. He is one of my dear friends. And by the way, I know he was sending a lot of love out to Bernie Kosar too, because we all been keeping in touch with him. Without further ado, the legendary Playmaker joins us now. How you doing, brother?
Hey, D, what's up, D? And you know what? I was laughing just then because you're right. I've been running up and down that sideline as long as we remembered, even like when we were playing, and you guys would be on the other end, right? And I was going to the club. Y'all go take over there. Let's go. You know what I mean? We're doing that same thing forever, dude. You know, because that's tying it together. That's what we talk about. And then you remember you and I riding around in Miami. That's accountability.
Yeah.
When I talk to you about, man, what we look like over here, man. Oh, we got it on defense. We got it on defense.
Oh, yeah.
And I tell you, we got it on offense. We got this. Game time comes.
Yeah.
We looking at each other like, I know what you're talking about. Don't be messing around. Get out of here and get it done now.
Yeah.
That's accountability. I miss that, dog.
I miss, Mike? You know what I miss? When we were on the field at Green Tree, they would be the most competitive and the greatest games I have ever played collegiately in my life were on the games where we were going 9-on-7. We were going inside drill. We were doing scrimmages. And then you got to the game on Saturday. We were both like this. Shit, why are you pulling me out, man? Well, we're up 20. I'm going, I put all that work in during the week. What are you talking about, man? That's how we lived on Green Tree.
Yeah, D.
Championships were made on Green Tree, man.
And I love that, D, because that's why I wore that shirt. Oh yeah, I wore that shirt. Green Tree made me.
Yep.
And honest between us, let me tell you, because and people they stole that. The Walmart, they stole it. They put it on shirts, talking about get the Michael Irvin T-shirt here. And I don't know, like, we feel funny about that because everybody didn't practice that Green Tree. Everybody didn't go through what you just talked about. You just talked, dude. It was different there. So when you gotta have stepped on Green Tree and did what you had to do at on Green Tree before you could wear a shirt saying Green Tree made me. You see what I'm saying? Because but D, we had, like we talked about, we had toilet bowls where guys that didn't play on Saturday had the scrimmage that Monday.
That's
and
right. Hopefully we're able to get his ass back here, man. It's so good, man. He's so right, man. I mean, when we were at Green Tree like that and we were playing like that, it was just special that we were playing like that, man. It really was. Z, let's see if we can get him back here and see if we can get Mike back here. Sure. Dude, I completely agree with him, what he said. Those practices and everything that we did was just absolutely incredible on how hard. Like, you can't do that shit any longer. You just can't. College rules are different nowadays. And you really just can't go down that lane any longer because they don't allow you to practice like that.
What happened here?
There we go, Mike.
What happened?
Hey, Mike, let's see if we can get your picture up here. I got you. Mike, you hear me? Mike, you hear me? All right, let's see if we can do it again here. Let's see if we can get him up. Hopefully we can. All right. That was so what I'm going to ask him about is the relationship between A.J. Brown and with Jalen Hurts. That's where we want to get to. I want to get to that when a quarterback or when a wide receiver is having issues like that, and he's having problems like that with an offense, with a quarterback, with what have you. I mean, right? That, to me, is the storyline. The Eagle offense is 28th, and you've got Devontae Smith, and you've got A.J. Brown, and you've got Saquon Barkley. Okay? All right. So let me bring Mike. I got you now, Mike. We got you. Mike, I want to ask you flat out here. A.J. Brown, the big drama in Philadelphia has been this. By the way, Mike, I'm on Team A.J. because when you have the 28th ranked offense in pro football passing-wise, and this guy can't get the football,
I'm with you.
First off, do you think he's lost a step, or do you think it's the offense's approach on getting the ball to him? What do you think the problem is with A.J.?
Well, there's no doubt he has certainly not lost a step, And you go through these things, D, when you go through offensive coordinators changes and new people come in and try to set a way they want to do things as opposed to the old way. I'm a little shocked by this one, all of it, because let me say it this way. Last year, a couple of years ago, when the Cowboys lost to the Green Bay Packers in that playoff game, remember that game a couple of years ago?
Yep.
Right here. I remember Dak Prescott throwing a slant route to CeeDee Lamb. He was a little bit in front of CeeDee Lamb. They didn't make the play. They didn't make the connection. But then this was, I don't know, early second quarter, late first quarter.
Yeah.
And the whole game, Dak and CeeDee acted like he didn't want to talk to Dak. He was walking around like they wouldn't even get together. I was like, what the hell is this? I said to myself then, there's no way you were that upset if you're CeeDee Lamb at that throw right now this early in the game. I got to give you that's the first throw. It's too early for me to be that mad at you. That had to be some shit you brought into this game. You were mad about something else when you came into this game. I watched the other day when Jalen Hurts was giving the pregame speech. A.J. Brown's over in the back messing around, moving around. He's not even paying attention. And now, then I go into a game saying, same thing with CD and Dak. There's something going on that you bringing into this game before you even, because you got to, why would you ever, as a wide receiver, why would you ever, I don't give a damn where he's throwing the ball. I'm never getting mad at the quarterback. You're my quarterback. I need you throwing me the damn ball. I don't care how bad of the throw, where the throw goes. I don't want to mess with you because I don't want you to start questioning, am I going to throw it to you again? You know what I'm saying? So all of these things, absolutely. When you're, like you said, the 28th ranked team in passing, 28th ranked passing team, that's a problem if you're an A.J. Brown. But the reality is the name of the game is win. I'm with AJ, and we have to figure out why we're the 2018 team, but I would tread very lightly in disturbing the wins. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you have to be able to deliver your message better than that because you don't want to get thrown in the frame of the TO in all of these things.
Does this Mike? Does this become a story then that AJ's got to be a better teammate?
Listen, everybody needs working over there in this situation. Absolutely. AJ Brown has some culpability here. Absolutely. But so does the coordinator. So does the quarterback. This is one of the best receivers in the National Football League. That's why I'm saying he has to be careful how he takes. Say, listen, guys, hey, start your stuff. Start everything and keep putting it around things to make sure the right message get to the players. Hey, listen, I'm happy we win, and that's the most important thing. I'm happy we win. I want to be more involved. So when we come up against the better teams, and we will have a better chance at winning. We can't go where we want to go with the 28th ranked offense passing wise. So listen, that's all I want. That's what I'm telling you. I'm happy because wins are what matters. I'm very happy I'm winning. But
Mike,
I do want to get more involved. That's how you got to be smart enough to handle it that way.
How about this? I had Kurt Warner on the other day, and Kurt Warner is echoing what you're saying. He said this. He goes, AJ Brown wants to feel like he's part of the offensive game plan. And when he's not like that, to me, it's just like he's running routes. This guy's a champion player. He is an elite guy. Elite guys like you, Mike, you want to be involved in the game.
Not a part. I must be the main focus. It's the best way for us to win. I don't want to be, I'm going to be the main focus, and the rest of the passing game works off that focus. You understand? So I'm going to draw two people sometimes. Now we get other people open. And you have to call that damn game plan like that. Okay, once I see he's drawn, there are two. You will never see Troy go somewhere else and I'm one-on-one. You see what I mean? Whole different thing now. Whole different thing. If I'm the best receiver, we got one-on-one coverage. I'm going to win 95%. The number two receiver is going to win 75%. That's why I'm number one. So one-on-one, we're going to take 95 over 75. That's just the reality. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
just the reality. Now, the problem comes, and AJ the problem comes is when I see one-on-one, and you're continuously going elsewhere with this damn football, and I'm wide open, and I am the number one. You see, that's what he's talking about. When sometimes, we have opportunities, and now you can't get me the ball.
Would you question that, Mike? Mike, would you question that when you see them going other places and not to him, where he's getting one target in the first half? How would you handle that, Mike?
I thank God I wouldn't have to in many forms. I tried to go to Noah. That's so funny. I was talking to Noah the other day, him and his daughter. And I remember Dan going into North because we're getting ready to play somebody like Dion or Daryl Green, and
Or Neas.
Right, Neas Williams, Champ Bailey. I always say I went through gold jackets to get my gold rings. Rod Woodson's, you know what I'm saying? So all the I'll go in on Tuesday on an off day. Noah, sit in his office. Noah, what we got this week, man? You know I need that ball. You know what I'm saying? Mike, you think you need to come in here every day and we can talk to me? I like my job too. I know how to win. I know I got to throw you the ball. Get out. I got the game plan. I got the game. I said, all right, coach, keep that fervor. Will you put me down on that game plan? You know. So we mess with it. We mess with it, but never at Troy. Never at Troy. You understand? Troy and I have to have clear path of communication. And for me, I will always make my quarterback right,
Huh.
even when he's wrong. Even when he's wrong, I'm gonna make him right because that's our relationship. I want him to know I'm gonna always cover his back. When the ball's in the air, you ain't intercepting it. I'm covering you. When we out here talking to people, I'm covering you. I'm never going against my.
Mike, do you think damn. I wonder if this is a relationship thing then in what we're doing here. Because what Mike is saying now is more relationship. And it's more of, these two guys not being on the same page. Did you hear what Mike just said? Mike said he would go out of his way to make sure that his quarterback always felt, even when he was wrong, he would go out of his way to make sure that that guy felt that he knew that he was on his back and that he had his back. This might be a little bit of what Deshaun Jackson's talking about here. Okay? I mean, this looks to me like he pointed something out that I don't think a lot of people pointed out. He goes, I'm watching the game the other day. Hurts is giving the pregame speech, and A.J. Brown is over here, and he's not caring about anything that's going on. Okay? He's just not caring. And when you're not on the same page like that, I hadn't thought about it that way. Okay, so this isn't just something's being brought into the huddle with both of these guys. Okay? Something's being brought in. And what is that? Because the relationship right now is not good. And I love what Mike just said there. Let's go back to Mike. Mike, I love what you just said about the relationship. And you know what, Mike, to me, I think one of the most important things then is you think that this could be something to do with the coordinator. Follow me here. He's been in the league 16 years, Mike. He was passed over 3 times in the building. He's a first-time play caller.
Right.
Do you think that has – and would you have frustrations with a guy that's a first-time play caller that maybe is not putting him in the right position for success?
Right. And I don't know. Let me tell you something where we're south with me, and I'm gonna just be blunt because you're my boy and everybody. When we went to we went from Norv Turner to Ernie Zampese. Ernie Zampese was the one who taught Noah. So when Noah said to Ernie Zampese, this is the way we work things around here, they understood it. We came in, Ernie and I got close, just like Norv and I got close. Then Ernie left, and then we went to a Chan Gailey coming in. Chan Gailey was trying, I would say, what A.J. Brown feels right now. Okay, I want it, and it's just me being real. I want to show it's my system more than it's the players. So I felt like, okay, so Chan Gailey, we're up 14, 21-0 something against Washington in the first half. I'm killing Darryl Green. I caught 2 touchdowns or something. He pulls me out of the game because he said, I want to save it for later in the season. No, you want more control over the team. That's really what he wanted. So I'm on the sideline on 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 9 with Jeff Ogman and all of these guys in the game. And I'm like, are you joking? What is this? But he wanted to show it was more his system than individual players. And you get this because these guys are trying to build their careers too. You see what I'm saying? And
Absolutely, Mike.
they're trying to build their careers. So if
Mike,
he comes in,
This is enlightening to everybody in Philly on what's going, because
yeah,
Deshaun Jackson spoke a little bit of what you're talking about. You're shedding a light on what's going on right now between Hurts, the offense, the coordinator, the head coach, and the player.
right. You can see it all around. You saw you saw what Dan Campbell did. He said, "Give me this damn play sheet. I know what I'm doing." You see what I'm saying? With in Detroit, but it happens all the time, D, because these guys are trying to build their career, and we're now in an NFL where it used to be in NFL. This man can beat that man. I'm gonna take this man.
Yeah.
But now it's system beating systems. So I'm going to use a great system where you can't cover. I want to be known as the brilliant offensive coordinator who can put a system together to beat anybody. And I don't need to use an individual player. Now you go back to the Tom Brady days. Who were the receivers? You can't really remember them because they feel it was their system beating people and not man versus man beating people. And if you are AJ Brown and you are a man beater, I can beat man to man. I don't need you coming up with all these schemes to get me open. Just call the play. That can be frustrating. It can be frustrating. You're trying to design some great design play to get me open. Joker, just run her out. Just run a comeback. Do all of that designing stuff for them other jokers that can't beat man coverage. I can. Let me do that. That could be something going on. Now I'm just sharing my experiences. I'm not saying that's reality.
Mike, and Mike, how about this too? How much does that hurt the quarterback? Because get this, they're 28th. He throws these 5-yard to the line of scrimmages. He doesn't really throw a lot on time. And now we're starting to see a little bit of AJ. It's not loafing, Mike. I wonder if he just doesn't trust what's being thrown to him.
Right.
And why? Because I can't think of a guy like that loafing backside on a play. I think it's got more to do with trust. Am I right when I say something like that?
Well, you're right in this sense. You're right in this sense. If ever you're calling plays, and let me tell you something. These are realities, and everybody likes to play in the bull. Like, man, you got to give 100% every time. Oh, you got every time. No, it's impossible.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. Stop. I know it sounds right and it sounds good. So at any minute, every one of us, we have to find ways to be able to conserve energy so we can use it where we need it most. So a backside run. I'm over here. I'm on the left side. Emmett's going to take a pitch and run all the way right. I'm not going full speed fast as I can and try to get all the way over there to block on the other side of the safety when I know I'm never going to make that. I'm not so don't say you gotta go full speed all the time. No, I'm gonna run, but in this area, I may conserve some energy to get over here on the run. Now I'll catch Emmett if he cuts back. Bam! I'll knock somebody out. He cuts all the way back and get. But I have to know how I gotta play this game. Because if Emmett gets -2 yards and I just sprint it all the way across the field, the next play is going to be a pass. I have to go deeper. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. So you got to look at when you see somebody's loafing. I don't necessarily call that loafing. I call that's reality. You got to conserve and know how to play. And the odds of you getting all the way back over there every time on a pitch to get to that safety or free, it's unlikely. Now, like I said, unless Emmett cuts all the way back and then that safety, bam, I got to take him out. So that's why I'm on the floor, on the follow. But I'm not I'm not running that like I'm running that sometimes.
Mike, let me get your thoughts on the Cowboys here, man. A couple more here for you. Boy, I'll tell you, Dak's having a great year. Mike, how impressed have you been with George Pickens?
I've been real impressed with him, and on both sides, Now impressed with how he's handled things because how he's handled things, his attitude and everything, but also with the opportunities that he's getting. And here's what George has to understand too, as everything comes in, especially now he's a Dallas Cowboy, because everybody is going to try to come after him and pin him against Jerry, just like they did Michael. And you even hear him now talking about, well, they got the same agent. I say Dan, I said Michael messed up with his agent, and
He
I'll say
did.
this, and I'll say this, George Pickens will mess up if he allowed an agent to make the call
That guy
and
in
not you.
Houston is going to screw that thing up again, man.
Right,
You watch
right,
that.
right. You got man, listen, you don't have many George for Pickens. You've been in Pittsburgh. You know what it's like to end up in a place where they can't get you the football. You're starting to have a year now. I'm not leaving that quarterback. You see what I'm saying? To go back into another hunt, go back into some other place where we may be on a hunt again for a quarterback, and I may throw myself back into that. Dad said something. He said, legacy, you'll find out, is more important than money later on. Because his legacy, if you play like this all the time for the next 8-10 years, and you look and you take a little, maybe $1 million less, whatever, you're going to make that up on the back end wholeheartedly. But if you take that extra million and go somewhere else, now you don't make these plays. In a year or two, you're going to be let go because you're going to be making too much money to finish out that contract. And what kind of legacy are you leaving? Here you got the players. I'm telling these guys, you got to start being smart and do what you want, not what these agents be wanting you to do. These agents are helping their career, like the offensive coordinators. They're trying to guide their career while they're in charge and helping you with your career. You got to make sure, hey, bro, you work for me, not me for you.
Mike, I've got important questions here for you. And this goes to AJ because gold jackets and rings. I think you compromised bigger numbers in Dallas for those rings. Mike, you could have went to the Jets and got yourself 1,700 yards every year and 80, 90 catches. But did you find yourself having to do this? For the structure of the team, I have to have everybody involved for us to be able to win. It's got to be a team effort because, Mike, you want every football thrown to you, but would you rather have your gold jacket or would you rather have those 3 rings? What would be more important to you? Because legacies,
Right.
Mike, there's only 300 guys. Anybody, look, there's over 3,500 men that have won rings. There's only 300 plus guys that have a gold jacket. So it's a tough conversation. I think that's kind of what AJ's looking at. I'm in the 28th ranked offense. I want to get to Canton too. I've got a ring. How do you balance that, Mike?
Right. And I want them both. There is no balancing it. And I want them both. I
And
want
you
them
did
both.
it at every level too.
And I got them both, but you got them both because I understood how the team works. AJ and Saquon, that's the blessing right there. Emmett and I, before every game, walked out. We did a double trouble. He was 22, I was 88. We walked in with the mentality. The victory is the most important thing. Now, how we get there is up to us. Now, the defense is going to take something away. That's why we would always say when we tap each other, by land or by air. Whatever you want to do, bro, but you're going to lose this game. You see what I'm saying? So if you want to take away the run, we going to do this by air. You want to take away the pass, we going to do this by running. But like when you get 2 teams, double team, triple teams, I remember a young T.O. asking me one time, he said, how do you handle the double teams, man? For 2 people, 3 people playing you. I said, oh, how do you beat it? I said, I go right in the huddle. I go to 2 and 2 and say, you better get your ass ready. I got 2, 3 people on me. You should be getting some yards around here. You see what I'm saying? That's the reality of it. I'm not gonna beat 3 people all the time. But if I got 2, 3 people on me, you should be getting your butt running. So it's accountability again. And that's the part I hate about what I see with AJ. You know, you got a great dude there in Saquon and in the way he is about things. If anybody should be throwing helmets and fits and mad when you talk about a change of seasons from what they did last year, this year. It should be Saquon, and you hadn't heard a word from him. And it does accentuate, highlight, and accent AJ that much more when that kind of superstar is so peaceful.
Mike, why'd you wear 47 at Miami?
That's the number they threw to me, man. They just gave me that number. I did, I told people about that when I didn't want to wear that number. I tried to go get Jimmy to change it and went in and I was a rookie. Jimmy didn't want to give freshmen anything. He came up with that old story to me. I said, Coach, can I change this to number 7? He told me then, Michael, every time I see you on that practice field catching them plays, you look like a 747 coming down the football field, landing in the end zone, scoring touchdown. Dan, I looked at it, I was like, really? I said, oh, that's what you see? I said, that's what you see? He said, yeah. I said, boy, this number look crisp again. I said, I like that. I said, okay, Coach. I walked out there. I was so excited, man. I was like, man, Coach said I'm a 747 landing in the end zone. Years later, he told me, we had won a Super Bowl in Dallas, here in Dallas. He said to me, we were out somewhere drinking. He said, Michael, I couldn't believe you was a little young buck coming in there. He said, I couldn't believe you bought that story. I said, what story, Coach? He said, that 47 story. I said, you dirty.
Mike, I'm gonna leave you with this one here, man. And I repeat this story to you, and I'll never, ever, ever, ever. And I want people to know that when I met him, he was, and that tone loc, that stopwatch you had around your neck. This dude's 17, 18 years old. He looks at me and he goes, 4-5, I'm in Canton. and I'm going like this. I go, hey, what are you talking about? You got 2 more years of mine. He goes, 4-5. He's running a mile frontwards, backwards. He's out there after practice. And I'm watching this. You know what you made us all do? All of us, we all went, well, shit, how am I going to get to the NFL if I'm not working extra after? How many guys that you used to see? Me and Jerome would go over there and we start working extra. Russell Maryland wants to be taught. That was just a crazy culture we had, man, is that everyone – it wasn't just about the 3.5 hours. It was about getting to the next level. And that's where we wanted to go.
Yep. You're right. It was everything. Damn, I wore that damn stopwatch like dudes wore necklaces. You hear me? I never got to. Because remember what everybody said. Don't know how he's going to run now, Mike. It depends on what kind of run what kind of 40 does he have? What kind of 40? It had been dogging me in my head. So I wore that thing to class. It was like my whole concept was I'm gonna run this 4-5 and get the hell out of this ghetto. I'm gonna run this 4-5. Right? That was so funny, man. I swear,
like Flavor.
Right, like Flavor. I literally wore a clock. I was Flavor Flav before Flavor Flav. That was before Flavor. I was big. I wore that clock around my neck for real. It's so funny. I went home, man. I'm 59. I went home, and those the little paint, I had a piece of some green paint because we had stole a bike a long time ago. I spray painted it green. It was the only paint we had, the only paint color we had, right? So the paint we had left over, I spray painted the yard markers in the street. 40 yards, 100 yards. And I used to practice running the 40s out there. Man, I went back home because I still own the house we grew up in. My sister and I still own those houses. So I went back home and those marks are still in the road, Dad. I was like, look at this right here. How many times that the 10-year-old boy ran this 40-yard sprint right here.
I loved your mother. I loved your mom so much, man. She come down to see you. God forbid, man. The other guy I was more intimidated with was Mr. Highsmith. Every time he came around, I go, "Yes, Mr.
Yeah,
Highsmith."
me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Hey, hey,
Alonzo's dad carried his ass like that. You're like, "Yes, sir, Mr. Highsmith." Yes, sir. Your
that was
mom,
a
man,
real
was
one.
so awesome, man. I mean, your family too. I mean, what you did and where you came from. I mean, that's great. You own the homes, man.
Right.
You really gonna go to Indiana one time?
Yeah, I was, Dan. I was following Jerry Sullivan, who's a very good friend of mine. Very great, a great coach, you know. And I had Jerry was my coach at Indiana University the first time I really left Fort Lauderdale, and they brought me to a camp at Indiana. And for that camp, I had to go work the summer scraping the wallpaper of all of those high rises on the beach. Dude, I was fire hot. Dude, I was fire hot. Because, you know, they paid for it. So they made me work the summer. Dog, I would get one of those little scrape things, man, and you scrape for an hour. And you maybe only clear this much space, getting that old wallpaper off. And I'm looking down, because I'm up in the high rise, I'm looking down. All the beautiful young ladies in bikinis are down hanging out by the pool. And I'm up there scraping. I said, man, I'll never forget saying I said to my boy Lorenzo White, he was with me because he's my
Michigan
best friend.
State kid. I
Right,
remember
Michigan
him,
State.
man. Yeah.
With Lorenzo White, I remember saying, Lo, this bullshit, Lo. This bull, Lo. I'm telling you right now, Lo.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be doing this junk all my life, Lo. I'm gonna be down there with them white folks. I'm gonna be down there on the water with the white folks.
Mike, let me tell you this Jerome one here, man. It's like let me tell you the Jerome one. So I get down and he goes like this. He goes, "Hey, I want you to grab your jersey here because we're gonna go over to Liberty City in Overtown." I go, "I don't know shit. I'm from New England. I don't know." I'm going, "Yeah." He goes, "Wear your jersey, kid. The only thing wider than you would be the lines in the highway." And so I go like this, I put it on, and I go over there. This is where I met Luke for the first time. I go in there, and he goes, "This is my boy Sileo. He's the next guy." And he looks over. He goes, "What do you mean the next?" I go, "What the next guy?" He goes, "I didn't know what it meant because where I was." He goes, "You're the next guy." And so I started seeing. So they started handing me this. They had like gizzards and like all the southern food. I'm in
All
it.
that southern
These
food,
Chinese
greens,
boxes,
all
all
greens,
the
everything.
greens and shit like this. I'd never eaten any of this, man. And so he goes like this. So, Mike, what was really cool about all of us back then, we were all going into Overtown and Liberty City. We were all trying to inspire those kids to want to be the next guys that go into Miami and want to be the next guys. I thought that's what made our program and us. I don't know they do that anymore, but us, like Overtown, Liberty City, Belglades, going down there, you know, where Eddie Brown was and all them guys. I kind of missed that a little bit on what our environment was, you know?
Yep. D, you're right, D. And right there is why I show up every Saturday at those, still trying to hold and keep and letting kids know what it means to us, what it was for us. And they are, and right now, dude, y'all are carrying they're writing their history while carrying our legacy. You see what I'm saying? I want to encourage you as much. The more I encourage you, the better I'm helping me. You know what I'm saying? Because if you go and do what we did, they'll talk about what we did. See, so you just try to encourage it and keep that cycle going. But what you're also talking about, D, is the brotherhood we had. You heard what you just said, Dan. You can walk. You had that jersey on, and another thing, you got that jersey on, right? We're seeing right now what just happened with Shador Sanders. You know, them breaking in his house and everything, dude. When we were coming up Miami, and since we were all coming up from hard time, they would never do anything to us. They protected.
No.
You had that jersey on. White dudes couldn't go into Overtown. You can go in there and they go, hey, they're gonna give you any and everything you need.
That's
because it was the town, it was the city, it was everything with the football team. Nobody would be robbing y'all while you're playing. It's just different now, man. It's just different, you know. And I miss that too, D.
I tell you, Mike, I could go on,
and we'll never get it again. You'll never have that again. You felt like we were bringing a city together, a whole world. Yeah.
No, we did. You know what, Mike? I tell you what, the love affair that I had for my teammates, it was the greatest education. I remember this, what you did to me one time. So I sit in there. I remember, and folks think that I'm a big mouth, and I am. So I come down. Mike goes like this. I'm like this. This goddamn Louis Farrakhan. Mike looked over at me and goes, "You know anything about him?" And I go, "No." He goes, "Well, let me educate you a little bit before you start opening your mouth about it." This is in our locker room. I don't think people realize that it was just different cultures, different things, but we all came together. We all had conversations. It was politics. But we were all one. And it was the greatest education I ever had in my life, was being raised in that locker room at the University of Miami on what it meant to be a man, because I learned to be together. It wasn't about black and white. It was really about being brothers. And I carry that forward. I think people think that I'm just like, I'm over here, but the greatest education I ever had in my life was being around all my teammates at the University of Miami. It taught me to be a man.
Yeah, and here you talk about it. I remember when I went to St. Thomas, because I went to St. Thomas High School. St. Thomas High School.
Mike, I never went to school I had one black guy in my school, and I got down to Miami. I got four roommates.
Exactly. Exactly. And I was one of the first. St. Thomas Plain is one of the premier schools, high schools in the country now. But I was one of the first real niggas to go over there. You know what I'm saying? Right. So now, and then I set up a scholarship to bring other, guys in from those areas. But now St. Thomas has more guys in the NFL probably than anybody, any other high school anywhere. But when I got over there, St. Thomas was predominantly white. It was a lot of white. And I remember playing people like Bartow and Titusville. These were all black schools. And we would come out on the field to practice, and they start laughing at us in warm-ups. And I would talk to my team before the game. I said, "You see all this?" I said, "They think they're brothers. They think these brothers are laughing at us because they think they're brothers." I said, "But they're not the brothers we are, because they haven't put the work in that we have together. Now watch, when we go out here, we gonna show them what real brothers are about. And we whoop that ass."
Mike, one more, please. Let me go here. So it was when Testaverde won the Heisman. Jerome Brown, Alonzo Highsmith, it was Darryl Fullington, and it was Tolbert Bain. So these guys come into this Italian neighborhood in Connecticut, knock on the door at about 9:30. My aunt's listening right now. So they knock on the door. Jerome goes like this, "Hey, we know." I go, "What are you doing? Hey, you better get in here." He goes like this, and they go, "What do you mean?" I go, "This is Italian area." He goes, my grandpa goes, "Get him in here." My grandpa had never met him. We drank beers. We ate meatballs until 3:00 in the morning. We sat around there. My grandpa and Jerome became like such great friends. Jerome and all those guys left, and my grandfather looked at me because he hadn't been around a lot of black guys, and he goes like this, "I see what you're talking about now." I said, "It's the greatest experience of my entire life. I've never in my entire life met men who were just committed to being champions and, just being brothers, man." Mike, I can't thank you guys enough. I mean, me coming down there like that from an outsider, it was so fucking unbelievable, Mike. It was I never forget it. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about those times being raised in that locker room. It was just incredible. Incredible.
It really was. In all of my moments with you, D, us riding up and down 95, us hanging out, going to Strawberry, going to Manhattan's, right around the corner, Manhattan, hitting the Manhattan, just all of it, man. And I think you said something that I need to mention that I think is important on any championship team. When you talked about when you become a championship team and a real close football team, your extended family is your family also. And the way you treated my mom, or the way you treated the way we treated each other's families, made us even more like, because people coming down there to take pictures. You after the games, we got to be willing to do this. This is all family here. Everybody, you're never like, "No, I don't take enough pictures. We don't want to do that." No. It's just Shanice. Come on, let's take a picture. All of that stuff matters, man. All of it matters because it bonds you and it binds you. So when we come to each other in the fourth quarter, we know we're not talking from a selfish standpoint. We're talking about this us. I need more out of you. This is not just, and so it makes a huge difference. And I hope honestly that AJ and Jalen gets back to that, because they came
Right.
in as best friends.
That's right.
Like best friends. He came over here because of Jalen Hurts.
That's
That's what
right.
and sometimes you start getting people and dealing with people, and everybody spitting and saying things, it affects you. That's why the Bible says you must guard your gates of entrance. What gates of entrance are those? The 5 gates that you have to bring information into your soul: your eye gate, ear gate, nose gate, mouth gate, and what you touch, your touch gate. Monitor those gates of entrance to make sure nobody is trying to tear your family apart.
Mike, I love you so much, man. I know we're all praying for Bernie too.
Yeah, we are
Bernie
praying
got
for Bernie.
delivered, so I've been staying in touch with him daily.
Yeah.
So just I know we all are too. But
Yeah.
Mike, I love you to death, dude. I really do.
And
You're one of my really good friends, and I don't have very many, except for my teammates at UM. But you're one of my great friends.
Yeah, since you got there, when he first came, Pete, let me tell you something, man, we hooked in right away. I said, now, who is this Italian white boy coming around here trying?
Hey, Jerome goes like this. There's no way he's white. There's no way he's white because he runs a 4.8.
and Dan came right in too with all of that stuff, all that hype talking, everything. He fit right on in down there. So I'm like, come on, D, we good, man. And D was my boy, man. You always
You
been
bet.
my boy. I
Always
love
have
you, man.
been, man.
And that's why when you call D, I'm gonna make time for you.
I know
Our
you
relationship says that forever,
ever,
buddy.
ever.
I'll make time for you. I love you,
Hey,
bro.
tell your family I love them very much, and I love you, Mike. Mike, thanks for spending so much time with me.
I appreciate you, brother. Anytime. Hey, God bless, man.
You got it, man. Michael Irvin. Whew. Man, I love that guy. I really do. I do. He is without a doubt one of my dear friends. And I promise you that when I die, he will be there. And it was just a great time. All right, hit that like button. Hey, Michael Irvin, man. He's true too, man. Every single time I call that guy, he's always here. He really is. All right, we got to get Big Z in here now. We got supers to get to. And yeah, I'm the Philly bad guy. I'm the Philly bad guy. How you doing? Philly bad guy. Let's bring Big Z in right now. These guys are kicking ass on Birds 365. I had to get Michael Irvin on here, man. How you doing, brother?
What's up, Big Sills? How you doing, man?
Dude,
that was freaking awesome with you and Michael. It always is. It always is. You guys have such a great relationship. You can tell. I have a little bit of news for you.
Please.
All right. Now, that was a great masterclass from Michael Irvin on A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts.
Some of the stuff, yeah.
So, A.J. Brown has made another comment. A.J. Brown spoke today, and this is just the first part. It happened about 3 minutes ago. A.J. says he doesn't watch other receivers around the league, and when asked why, he says, it gets me upset. It gets me upset, he said.
Okay, let's go into what he said. Okay? There's a bigger problem somewhere. This is not on the field getting upset. Remember what he said? Michael Irvin just said this. I saw Jalen Hurts doing the pregame speech, and there's AJ just off over here. He goes, Dan, there's a problem between them guys with something bigger. Now, I'm not going down the lane of Deshaun Jackson. Okay, I'm not going down.
We don't know. I don't know what the hell their person. Yeah,
right. I don't. Nor do I really care.
Me, same.
Okay, but when you're hearing these little snide comments here, do you think AJ's being a bad teammate, or do you think he's just frustrated and he's just not handling it right. But he's, two things can be right. You think he's just not handling it right, but he is right.
Well, I mean, I think he's right to a certain extent of where, this.
By the way, we got 1,500 people in on all the platforms right now. Thank you.
I mean, they're right in a sense of, the offense isn't that good. I mean, you know what I mean? It's not really doing that well. So I think where Michael is right, Irvin is right, is, you can't, you got to balance that a little bit better. You know what I mean? And I thought his point about not pissing off your quarterback was a good one, because
you bet.
That's obvious. Like, why would a receiver not think that? You know what I mean? That's like being mad or creating a rift between the person who gets you the ball and gets you paid, basically.
Remember what he said too? He goes like this: even if he's wrong, I'm going to make him feel he's right.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I thought it was an interesting point. I think it's funny that, literally as Irvin is ending, I get that tweet on the timeline. Devin Caney put that out. I guess they asked AJ that at his locker, and that's what he said. It's hard to, I get it. People want AJ to, they want him to shut up and they want the team to be first, but it's hard for me to look past what AJ says, man. And by the way, I'll bring this up to you too.
Are you on his side though? Because I'm on his side.
Well, I get, I'm on his side, but I'm also like, there is a better way to handle this as a man.
Yes.
There is a better way to handle this as a man. And, AJ has always been, a person who's vocal about, some of his mental health things, which I don't take lightly. But, you got to manage that as a man, when you're in an environment with a team and a player and relationships and people and all of those different things. You can't make life harder for the entire team. Now, I think the interesting context about it is, where does the team fall? The fans are publicly Jalen Hurts. I mean, I've been getting called names all week. You've been getting called names all week. If you say one thing about Jalen Hurts in this city, they want to outcast you, castrate you. They want to blow you off, cancel you. I mean, that's how sensitive this fan base is about this quarterback. Leave that aside for a second. I'm talking about the people in the building. What does Devontae Smith say? He shares a locker right next to AJ Brown. Does he not look at him and say, "Yo, dude, come on, bro. I know we're unhappy. We got to handle this better." What does Jeffrey Lurie say? I was listening to a clip today from Rhea Hughes, who's on the morning show, WIP. She does a great job. Angelo talks highly about her all the time when he's on here. And they asked her a question, and I'm just reading tea leaves here. Okay, I'm just reading tea leaves. I don't have any. I'm just reading the tea leaves. They asked Rhea Hughes, whose side do you think the organization is on? Because the public is clearly Jalen Hurts. The fan base is clearly Jalen Hurts' side. And Rhea paused, and she looked at Hugh Douglas, who was mentioned in Derek Gunn's tweet after his initial tweet that said, "Me and Hugh Douglas are privy to other information that other people do not know about." That's what D. Gunn followed up on that video. She looked at Hugh Douglas and kind of said, "I can say this if I say I'm recklessly speculating." So she says, "I'm recklessly speculating," after looking at Hugh Douglas, which almost to me was like, as long as I say that this is a speculation, I'm not going to get you in trouble.
No.
And she said,
"You're not outing him."
She said, "I think the organization's on AJ's side. I think they see the bigger problems with the passing.
They are on
They
his
see the
side.
bigger problems with the offense."
Yeah. I think the
I
problem.
don't know what to make of that, but
No, I think the problem.
I think it's notable, though. I do. I think
the problem in the building is the quarterback and the coaching staff.
I agree. I think the interesting part about that Rhea thing is, Hugh Douglas. People can say whatever they want about D-Gun. One thing I find funny about this fan base is they will bash and shit on anybody if they just say things that they don't like. They don't care about the credibility of the person.
It's not true, they don't care.
Exactly. No, and even if it is true.
Yeah.
If it is true, they'll slander somebody. Yeah. Derek Gunn doesn't lie about reports. Okay. Yeah. I worked with Derek Gunn for 3 years. I know many of how much he's connected with the organization. Hugh Douglas is similar.
Yes.
These guys don't have sources like beat reporters do. Beat reporters have a different set of sources. They talk to a different set of people. Hugh Gunn was in with that organization a long time ago. Hugh Douglas talks to the same type of people. So if those two guys All right. D Gunn's obviously made clear what he has heard. Hugh Douglas has has walked around it a little bit more, hasn't been as, straightforward about it. I just wonder. I question about, is the organization not as pro Jalen as people think? I mean, I know he wins. I'm not trying to bash Jalen. I'm just saying, if you think about everything they've done, man, has been to improve the passing game. Everything about our owner since he bought the team in the 90s has been about creating a prolific offense.
And they can't.
And they can't right now.
I'm telling you right now that Jalen Hurts, when this thing, and if, one more time, if it starts losing, he'll be faster out of this organization than Carson Wentz was.
Oh, no, man. That's a tough contract to move off.
Well, you can in 2 years.
Look, now, Charles, I'm talking about football, not religion, dude. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Gun stuff is not the Bible. Charles, I know he said something that you don't want to hear, so you don't think he's correct. Steve Gunn is not putting out shit to ruffle feathers. I guarantee that. And I'm not even a fan of the dude.
Dude, he wants to get back in the building, and I heard he went back in yesterday.
Yeah, and I am trying to find a way to cope. That guy's correct. I mean, I've been coping all week, haven't I?
Man.
I've been coping all week with this damn team. All right.
So now you got the receiver barking again. You think he's talked himself off this team?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
What a shame. This is T.O. in a way. You needed to make that work then, too. You got to make this fucking work. Why would you blow something like that up? Because, listen.
Because you just heard Michael Irvin, dude. I want both. I'm not compromising. I want both. He also, look, he gave some good points about the way A.J. Brown's handled himself. He also said some good things about the way a dominant receiver thinks and should think. He didn't say, no, a part of the passing game. I'm not a part of I am the passing game.
Yeah.
Everything goes off me.
I think AJ has a massive problem with that not going on like that.
100%.
And do you think he also, when he said about the coordinator going like this, the coordinator's trying to get a job? And the coordinator, remember, he's trying to expand his resume. He's trying to get a job. And they want to feel like, it's the system. It's not the players. Don't the Eagles think that way and think it's the system?
Well, I mean, to some extent, I see Yale. I know Mike said he never threw a quarterback under the bus. I mean, do you think AJ has explicitly thrown Jalen under the bus?
No, you said it last week. No, you said it last week that AJ had a chance and it was teed up for him to knock him down, and he didn't.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think he's explicitly throwing Jalen under the bus.
Why would he? Do you think that Jalen, though, has stopped?
I think the weird thing is, like, we did have an offense where these dudes were happy and they won a lot, and it didn't look like this. And that's where part of me is like, is AJ upset more about the system that they're playing now than he is about, Jalen Hurts?
How about this? Do you think this drama derails the season? No,
I don't. I think it has a chance to. I think anytime you have a team that's this talented, the only way this team this talented blows itself up is from within. It ain't from anything we say on the National Football Show. It's from within. So they are in control of it. They can control the narrative. They can handle it. I'd like to think that they're two mature enough men to sit down. If there is a problem, sit down, talk it out, man. It is what it is. You know what I mean? You guys have a common goal. If you don't like one another, it is what it is. Who cares? Go out there, get the ball to one another, play team football and try and win football games. That's what I'd like them to get to, but it feels like it's pie in the sky at this point.
Here's something that I want to hear what you have to say about what you guys were talking about this morning. John said something that infuriated me.
Me too. I already know what you're going to say.
And I went like this. I don't think fucking A.J. Brown and Saquon Barkley have lost a step in 7 months. 7 fucking months, 8 months. A.J. Brown was second team fucking all-pro, and Barkley was the offensive player of the fucking year. This was in February. Those guys were the players of the year and second team, not Pro Bowl, all pro. And you're telling me you think that guy and everybody in that offense
everybody
falling off the cliff?
John literally said everybody. I'm like, bro, it's not everybody.
It's the quarterback and the OC that are fucking everywhere. Who in their right mind would think that Barkley in 7 months is out of gas?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense, but
like everyone, how about this? Maybe Lane because he's 35. Okay.
You know what's a tough thing to gauge is like I tend to fall back on watch what they do, not listen to what they say.
That's right.
But a lot of people have used a lot of comments, and I think they're fair to use, I will say. But like Jalen has made several comments where with Pam Oliver after the game, last year's straitjacket comment, got to stop playing to lose. You know, several different comments have compiled that you could use as supporting evidence that Jalen Hurts doesn't want to play that style of football. There's also comments you could use to support the other side where he said it's going to look how Jalen Hurts wants it to look. Yeah. So it's kind of tough to gauge that of like, which comments do I take? And that's why I kind of just flush them all, you know? If you can get comments that support both viewpoints, flush it and just look at what they do, you know? And what they do is not prolific and they don't move the ball downfield. And my other my other thought process on it is I don't know of another team that like the Cowboys are the number 2 offense in football, and people still shit on Dak every day in this chat. But I'm saying my point is that Green Bay has a bad game on offense. I don't hear anybody point to all the play caller, the receiver, the running back, the offensive. It's Jordan Love. Baker Mayfield starts shitting the bed. The guy's missing 4 receivers. Oh, Baker had a bad day. Scrambling too much. Turning the ball over. Like, we're the only offense, apparently in pro football, where when you have a bad offense, the quarterback's
not at fault.
Yeah, or has no say in it. It's like, come on, guys. I mean, what are we doing here?
Oh, this is what we've done here in a matter of 2 weeks. Now, all of a sudden, A.J. Brown and Barkley have lost a step, and the OC's horrible. Okay, what about the guy fucking executing all this bullshit? What about his accountability in it? Where's he in all this? Like, this fan base is so wild. Do you know people are all over my X account because we're just being critical of the offense being 28th. This is not malicious. Xander, you and I aren't being malicious. We want to know why you have so much talent on that side of the ball. And then you look at the defensive side, and John goes like this today. He goes, well, you know, look at the talent on that side. Look at the talent on that side. They put that together like Humpty Dumpty in the offseason here. They just got Jalen Phillips with a 3rd-round pick. Jacoby's coming back off of like some sort of psycho injury. You got guys now with Dory Jackson. People are going, hey, Dory's playing well. That guy's a trash can, and now they've got him playing well back there. I just don't get it, dude. I mean, that side of the football is humming. But you know what? Tell me this. Christian Parker, Bobby King, Clint Hurt, Vic Fangio. Bro, these are all seasoned, excellent coaches that know their shit. Here's what you have on the other side.
Yeah, they really have good.
By the way, that's the best coaching staff in football right there.
That's a great point by you. That whole defensive staff is really good.
It's the best staff in football. The Rams have a good one.
I think your boy Clint could be getting another job. Look what he's done with that D-line.
Unless they promise him he's the heir apparent.
Wait a second. Hear me out. Milton Williams was a 3rd-rounder, $28 million. Moro Ujomo is a 7th-rounder playing like he's going to get $28 million. Clint Hurts is going to be getting paid soon.
I wouldn't let him out of the building. So let me ask you one thing about your boy, Kevin Petullo.
Why? You mean successor to Vic? If Vic hangs it up to you?
Yeah. How about this one here?
Christian Parker's impressive, too.
He is. So 15 years as a coach in football. 1 year at A&M. He was passed over twice in the building. He's 44 years old. The guy in Los Angeles is 39 years old, and his name is Sean McVay. He's been the head coach for 9 years. Okay, I mean, Xander, I've never heard of a coach being in the NFL 16 years. He's 44 years old, which is almost half his life. and this is his first coordinating job, my opinion would be this. If Nick didn't elevate him, he'd never get a job as a coordinator in this league.
Well, it would be hard for me to disagree with that. I mean, I'll pull up here's his history. You're wearing it. Wow, look at this. Is that a South Florida polo?
It is. Leroy
Kevin
Selman.
Patullo started.
Leroy Selman gave me this before he died, and I promised him that I'd kind of keep an eye on that program and cover it and this and that. It's the only shirt I own. That it's USF.
Sileo doesn't wear shirts unless they're free. They're only sent to him.
That's correct. And by the way, look at this. This is when they were in the Big East.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, but wait, my point is South Florida is where Kevin Patullo started his coaching career, 2003, 2004.
So he started with Jim Levitt?
He was a grad assistant there. Then he went to Arizona. Then he went, not the Cardinals, Arizona College. University of Arizona. Then he went to Kansas City Chiefs, offensive assistant and offensive quality control coach, 07 to 08.
It's a gopher job.
Then he went to the Bills, offensive quality control coach.
Gopher.
Bills, he upgraded to offensive assistant and assistant wide receiver coach.
Okay.
Titans, he went assistant wide receiver coach.
Okay, he's moving up.
Jets, he became the quarterbacks coach.
That's moving up bigger.
Texas A&M, he left the NFL and went and became a senior offensive analyst. I don't know what the fuck that even means.
With Kevin Sumlin? Huh.
I don't know. Who was that? I think it was Jimbo.
No, it was Kevin Sumlin in 17.
In 17, was it?
Yeah. Kevin Sumlin.
And then he went to the Colts, where he worked with Sirianni, wide receivers coach. Then he became the pass game specialist with the Colts in 2020. Then he came over with the Eagles to be the pass game coordinator. Oh. Last year, they upgraded them to the associate head coach. Now they made him the offensive coordinator.
Those aren't impressive jobs.
No, they're not. It's not a whole lot of
those jobs are gopher jobs. Go get me.
Brian, you pointed out Brian Johnson came into the NFL and he became a coordinator in a year or two.
I know. Those are all gopher jobs. And what I mean by gopher jobs is like, hey, break up 3rd and 10 for me from last game. Break up 3rd or 2nd and 8. Those are all gopher jobs, bro. I mean, those aren't when you hear quality control or you.
Yeah, I mean, I still think you have a general knowledge of the game being in them.
No, you're being hired.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's.
I hear you. I get what you're saying. It's not a.
No, they're not high quality jobs. They're like he's not been like this. Has he ever been a position coach?
Yeah, wide receivers coach and quarterbacks coach.
Okay, how many times?
Jets and Colts.
Okay, in 16 years, he's had position coaching jobs twice.
And then he got upgraded to pass game coordinator in Philly when he got hired here.
That's not a position coach.
No, but is that better or no?
Well,
pass game coordinator is more
kind of well.
It's kind of like trying to become more of a coordinator, though, isn't it?
Well, who's he coaching? What position is he coaching when you do pass game coordinator? Quarterback?
Afrado's right. I don't need general knowledge. I need expertise.
Hey, really?
Kellen Moore had him too, my man. Kellen Moore had expertise.
Do you know that this will be Dak's 3rd number 1 offense if they finish the season passing wise? What do you make of this game this weekend, dude?
I think it's a great game, dude. I think it's a great game. I'm not going. Don't go to sleep on it. I think this is going to be a classic NFC East divisional matchup. I think this thing's going
to be tight.
Me too, but it's a very interesting matchup in that the Eagles' offense has been spotty and underwhelming at best, and the Cowboys' defense has been spotty and underwhelming at best, probably even considered, bad. And then you have the Cowboys' offense versus our defense, who is drastically improving. So it's a good matchup, man. It's like, bad offense versus bad defense. And then great offense versus great defense. The other thing I think that's a variable is our 2 best defensive outputs did come in the last 2 games versus 2 high-powered offenses, but also in 2 weather games, where you had the Packers and the Lions. Both teams were unable to move the ball largely in those games. So does the defense play as good versus a team like the Cowboys? Now, the Eagles are 2nd in the league in giving up yards. They've given up the 2nd most yards. Now, they don't give up a lot of points. They give up a lot of yards. I think the Cowboys are going to move the ball, and Shoddy's going to take some points in this game because I think he's going to bet on that the Eagles' offense doesn't move the ball. If the Eagles' offense comes out and looks the way it has the last couple weeks, I don't think we win the game. If they look like they did in Minnesota or New York in the second game, I think we'll win the game.
Dude, I don't watch other receivers because I don't want to get depressed.
Did you just see that?
I did. I'm sorry. Hey, man, what the fuck is wrong with this? Hey, he's just airing all kinds of shit out. Man.
Wow, he also not really took a shot, but they asked him if he lost a step.
What'd he say?
And his answer, now this isn't a full answer. This is Elliott put this out. When asked if he lost a step, like some have said, he jokingly said, well, I guess Saquon ain't the same player either.
oh my, that's my point that I made all day here today.
It is. You are speaking A.J. Brown's language right now, bro. You are.
Fucking A. These guys haven't lost a step.
Woo!
Man, you got a fucking great team to cover.
Yeah, we do.
Holy shit. Let's get these supers, dude. Hey, wait, by the way, what'd you make of Haley?
Great. Good.
Yeah.
Good combo. I like it.
Yeah.
Michael said, it's a good thing you're not on Facebook because both of you in this channel are being referred to as turncoats and traitors because you're honest about the Eagles' problems in offense and you give props to the Cowboys' offense. Michael, that's because people are simpletons and stupid. I mean, come on. What are you talking about? Our offense isn't that great. We're winning a lot of games. Team deserves some credit, for that. I think Nick deserves some credit, but it is what it is, Michael. If people can't handle that, and the Cowboys' offense has had a great year, right? I mean,
dude, they have.
That shouldn't be controversial to say, should it?
No, it's not controversial.
George Pickens is like John put him in his top 2 of his receivers in the NFL this year.
Well, his production is insane right now.
Insane.
He might be the best number 2 receiver next to him and Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams has been basically delegated to being a number 2 because Puka Nacua is probably the best receiver in the league right now.
Yeah,
him and Chase.
And that Njigba kid, dude.
Oh, my God, the kid in Seattle.
Dude, he doesn't even have a number 2.
Bro.
This is the most easiest explanation for why we can't pass the ball. But ex-boyfriend or whatever the hell your name is, I don't know why people can't talk about it. Like, I have been saying this all week. Is this that hard to figure out? The Eagles can't run the ball. Dude, 5 guys ain't blocking 8 guys. There's no threat in the pass game.
By the way, Cam Jurgens was limited today, so that means this.
He was back out in the field, though.
Okay.
He wasn't out there yesterday, so that's an upgrade. I think he could play now. John said this morning he didn't think he would play because –
but do you want him to play if he's 30%?
I don't know, dude. Those Cowboys tackles are good. They
are big.
Kenny Clark, and Osa. They got 3 good tackles in there.
Bro, I got to tell you something. I think Jerry Jones has made that defense better.
I know. You might not. Well, their rating would tell you otherwise.
Yeah, neither would yours, but you're ascending.
True.
Okay.
True.
I mean, I don't look at that. Do you think the Cowboys look like the 30th ranked defense right now? I don't think you look like the 19th ranked defense. Do you think?
Well, the Cowboys have had 1 game since their
yeah. That's right. Since they got Quentin Williams
versus a really shitty team.
Yeah,
now, I don't like we beat shitty teams, and people tell me Jalen looked amazing versus the Giants. So I don't really like saying who cares.
Yeah. No.
It's just the point of I think there's more
good, dude. That's a good play.
I watched that kid. Now I'm a Bama guy, so I've been watching him for a long time. He was at Bama back when I was at Bama. So I think he was drafted in 2019. He's an excellent player. He's an excellent player. So they got good interior. I don't know. Does that make you want Cam or not want Cam?
Yeah, I hear you, man.
Yeah, truck. Holy crap, bro. Relax. Here's Josh. What's up, Josh? I hate to say this, but that record is the reason that this team settles for a bad quarterback and a bad offensive coordinator and a bad head coach. It's like telling someone they're fat, but they still fit in their pants. It won't last.
Josh, you would have run a long way to get there, man. But
I don't know if it's like that, though, Josh.
Yeah.
I mean, winning in the NFL is a little harder than fitting into your pants.
I get it, man. You went around a long way to get there, but it's funny. Oh, my God. I think I'm working on Jimmy tomorrow.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Wait, real quick. Michael, we got people chirping on Facebook, or you just say that? I'd love to see. I love watching people who chirp.
Oh,
people love chirping. I love being
people are
the bad
just
guy.
going nuts on my X account.
I love being the bad guy.
But I get this. Hey, So that one dude, he kind of threw a comment out this morning. And so, you know what? I took your advice, Z. I said, I'm not coming.
So Prince just messaged me, and Prince says, Big Z, your take on Jalen Hurts is wrong. All those other QBs you mentioned have coordinators who specialize in what they do. That's very fair, Prince. My point is Jalen doesn't have that, and that's why he's struggling, which everyone keeps pointing out. No shit. You would struggle too if you had to figure everything out on your own, Xander. Touche. Jalen had to go outside the organization for answers every time, but not anymore now that he got Vic. It's a fair point.
Yep,
that's a fair point.
I agree. I go there.
Yeah.
Prince, you got good take.
Point, Prince. I'll take that, my friend. I don't know if you're listening still, but I'll take it. Josh, thank you, man. Here's one more.
We got 1,600 people on all the platforms right now.
Yeah. Are they all Twitter? Yeah, it's your Twitter.
Yeah.
Steven says, if Super Bowls were won in the regular season, then Dak would have more rings than Brady. Too bad you have to perform in the playoffs to get those. That's fair. That's fair. It's a fair criticism of Dak, but it doesn't change how he's playing right now.
And it doesn't change the fact it's November 20th. We're not talking playoffs.
I'm talking week 12 in the NFL. That's
week 12 of the NFL.
I get it, though. Eagles fans love to go to that. Pumper says, fellas, we had a couple jail nights this morning said they carry water for Hurts because he's handsome. I mean, this is comical and elementary. Like the offense, Pump.
Oh, my God, man. Very
Michael,
good,
thanks for becoming a member, my man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
Michael.
it. Here's Pumper again. Hurts is the problem. No shit, he's the main problem. Brian Pumper has been telling you this for years. He's doo-doo butt cheeks. Fake ass Jordan.
Wait a minute, Pump. You now talk to yourself in second person now here?
Whoa. He's been doing that for months, Pumper.
Holy shit.
Here's Herman. Z, you're right. I talk to Birds fans that I know, and these people fall apart when you say Jalen is bad. I thought we strive for excellence, not mediocrity. I think some of these fans are new since we won a Super Bowl, honestly. Yeah. I really do, Josh.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're hanging still. You know what? Do you agree with me what I said about you earlier? I said I thought you gave them the honeymoon all the way up until September.
Yeah, it's fair.
Right?
I think you should do.
Right. And then after September, I thought you stopped that and you just went into this is a new year. I don't think you've been on. When someone said that, I was like, yeah, no, he's not been on that parade. He got off that parade float September 4th.
Real TV says we're mixing super inflated truths with blatant lies. What are the lies? List them out. I will rebut them.
Me too.
People always say this to me. Like, I love bringing up comments of people who disagree with me. That's the whole point of sports talk. I want to be disagreed with and get to the truth. That's how the whole point.
That's right.
Here's a couple more. Eagle fan. I know I sound crazy, but could you imagine if we traded Hurts in the offseason and started McKee? Don't kill me. LOL.
No, not kill you, but financially. Remember,
can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you think Howard Eskin on the program a month or two ago, do you think that was just when he came on here and he said the best quarterback on the Eagles isn't playing right now? Now, take whether you agree with him or not is not the point of what I'm asking. I don't care whether you agree with him. Do you think
he heard
that was a Howard Eskin thought, or do you think a little birdie who has been by the way, I'll just remind everybody, I know you might not like Howard. Howard is very close to not only the Eagles organization, but the higher ups in the Eagles. He is close to the owner. He is close to the general manager. Many of you will remember when the Citizens Bank Park banned Howard Eskin from going, the Eagles stood in his corner and allowed him to continue to be the sideline reporter. Yep. He's been close to that organization for 40 years, and he's got great connections in the building. I'm just saying, do you think Howard came in and said, and by the way, he used practice. Howard hasn't been at practice in a couple of years. He said, I don't know. I'm just wondering.
No, I agree.
Howard put that out there?
No. He heard that from somebody, and he took it from someone. I don't think he just randomly came up with that either. Someone told him, probably this way too, Xander. They probably said it this way to him. The guy with the best skill set in the quarterback room is McKee. And that's how he heard it.
Mine says talking about practice. Great man. Alan Iverson. All right, a couple more. Here's Devin. What's up, Devin? I'm listening to the interview with Haley right now. Are we sure this isn't Sileo's long-lost sister?
I thought she was good.
She sounded like she was right out of Delco. I love it.
She went just like this, boy. She goes, I don't know, the quarterback's just not having a good year. All of a sudden, you saw the whole room go, God dang. Sileo got to her already. Sileo-wise.
Wait, so did we miss Supers earlier?
I think we
Jalen
may have
Knight
missed a few.
understands, but tell them slow. If he played like the top 5 guy they think he is, no one will be having this talk. Play better. Thank you, JD. Very simple. Michael says, Sills, why are Eagles fans so triggered over the positive things? They're committed to not being. I mean, it's fine. They're fans, Michael.
Yeah.
They don't want to be objective. I prefer to do my show. I know I'm a fan, but I do prefer to be objective. It's easier for me to not lie. I have always said that. I don't want to lie and then try to keep up a lie.
Hey,
it's not novel for me to say I hate Dak Prescott. What does that get anybody?
Let me do a quick spot. Come right back.
30 seconds. Got you.
You got it. All right, folks. Don't forget our great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the #1 injury law firm in all of America for a reason. It is because they win, my friends. This firm has been in business for over 25 years. Thousands of attorneys from coast to coast defending families like yours. Remember this too. They don't get paid unless you win. Very simple. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's FOR thepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. Do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
Yeah! There's a reason the Karate Master was the #1 salesman in the lumber department.
Karate.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
All right, folks. Appreciate all of that, man. We got them all. We still got more?
I think we got a couple more here.
Okay.
You're one of the few people to speak the truth. Thank you, brother. I think that's true of Sileo. Yeah, this was an interesting comment like you on DK Metcalf yesterday. I don't know if you caught yourself there, but
what I said.
He's chiseled like a steak, or what did you say?
Yeah.
Something goofy.
Somebody said something. He's cut out of a steak. He's like, guy's like built like a brick shit house.
I'm just saying, it doesn't surprise me that some people latched onto the comment, especially somebody like Reyes, who maybe's got some Diddy syndrome as well. I think we got them all. Sills interview, we got that. Here we go. Shit, Parker's even making Adoree Jackson better. Adoree's been okay, man. I'm not. Did you get this one? Watch the all 22. There are plays we made. Yeah, okay. All right, we got them all.
How would you like to have Mike Dick on next week?
Oh, that'd be great. Why would it not?
Chicago Bears, right?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Friday game. We got to figure out what we're doing. I got to figure that out next week.
Yeah. And also too, we're gonna get a famous linebacker on that they had there too.
Who? Brian Urlacher?
Yeah.
Bro, Brian Urlacher was liking the JAKIB videos that we had the other day on Instagram of you and Coach Jason Brown. It's funny you said that because I almost mentioned.
I got a fucking text from him 2 days ago. No wonder.
That's exactly why. He liked the video on JAKIB Sports.
I haven't talked to Urlacher in 2 years.
Dude, when I was younger, I fucking loved Brian Urlacher. I loved that he wore the big thing out of his. I loved mean ass linebackers like that. I loved that shit.
Okay, we'll get him on next week.
That's
he
great.
goes like this. He sent me a message and I'm like, hey, man. And he goes like, hey, and I go, hey, look, Bears are coming up. He goes, give me a call anytime you need me.
Dude, that'd be awesome, man. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so it's a good show, man. I'll let you give your final remark here, and we'll have a good one. All right, man?
You got it, my friend.
Later, dude. Later, everybody.
That is Big Z. Make sure you catch him on Birds 365 in the morning. We started it out with this. Here we go. Hey, I'll give you our predictions tomorrow because, again, folks, it's going to be a pretty good football game. I want to thank Haley for coming on with us. I want to thank Michael Irvin coming on with us. We will see you tomorrow, 2 to 6, Big Z. Joe, thank you very much. We'll see you on the flip side.